Bruising Banner Podcast. Bruising Banner Podcast. What up? Welcome to Bruising Banner Podcast. I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, is the legendary Brew Crew. What up, fellas?
I got water, I got, juice or whatever. It's like, y'all need twin legs? Matter of fact, I do.
My question to everybody is,
does Delaware have an actual culture?
This is the podcast that we talk about beer, but we also talk about a lot of things that's happening in the world, politics, movies, anything really that comes to our mind while we're here sampling these brews. Grab a drink and pull up a chair. What up? Welcome to Bruising Banter Podcast, where the topic be the rockin' and the brew. Well, that be the fuel. And I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, the legendary Brew Crew. What up, fellas?
What's up, Rob?
What is going on, everyone?
Hi.
This is episode 69 of the Bruising Banter Podcast, and it is our fifth edition of our social distancing series.
I'm over it. Yo, I'm so over it, yo. I'm over it.
Yeah, it's 60. And it has been amply titled, since it is episode 69, our sex episode. So we do have some sex professionals. Well, that don't sound right. We have,
I've been a sex professional since like 16.
They're called sex workers, right?
Yeah, those are called sex workers, right? We don't have sex workers. We do have sexual health professionals.
There you go.
Sexual awareness professionals. All that. We have sexual awareness and health professionals here with us today.
Yeah.
And we will introduce them shortly. Actually, I can go on and introduce them now. Starting with we have Vanity Constance in the building. How are you?
Grand. How are you?
Great.
It's good.
Nice.
And we have Ashley Cobb.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
And we have Will.
What's good? I am blessed
see you
and
again.
highly favored.
What up, Will?
What's good, y'all?
What up?
Highly favored with beer and cheer. Hey.
Yo.
So we have a great group of guests this afternoon. But before we get started, I need to know what everybody's drinking on. We can start with you, Ashley.
I have peach, a peach sangria. I'm not really a drinker like that, so I need something that's very fruity. So it's a peach sangria.
That's fine.
All right.
What you want?
Vanity,
It's quarantine.
what you have?
Darling, I would like to introduce you TP, Taylor Port.
Taylor Port.
Take a look.
Yes.
Taylor Port. Okay. What is Taylor?
What is Taylor Port? What is
It's like a port wine?
I moved to Wilmington when I was 20, and I was introduced to some hood-ass drinks, and Taylor Port was one of them.
Okay. That's crazy.
Welcome to Wilmington.
Welcome.
I've never drank a Taylor Port ever.
I mean, you're not missing out on much, but like it's still like a Wilmington drink. Like,
Wait, and it's called Taylor Port?
they be like, "Where did TP at?" I'd be like,
Oh,
"Oh,
really?
it's serious."
Do it make you
bro.
teleport? Oh.
Is it a red wine? Like, is it a porter?
So it's a port wine, right?
Okay.
So we don't really know what's in it. We just know it gets you lit.
There you go. Hey, that's all that matters. If you
Okay.
a little bit of cocaine in there, you don't mind.
All right.
Crack is whack.
Right.
Put the crack back.
And Will, I don't have to guess what you're drinking on, but what are you drinking on today, Will?
I am sipping as the let me put on my ASMR voice.
Look, I see. You see
Operations.
You look like
Yes.
you look like you're working from home right now too.
Come up and shirt,
Or he
bow
gaming.
tie.
He on lunch break from
The
gaming.
ambassador.
Well, Robert, I'm glad you asked. I am indeed sipping on, since I am chief of operation of Georgia's first black-owned and operated craft beer company, I am sipping on, here we go. I'm sipping on Down Home Brewing Company. Again, Georgia's first black-owned. Right now I'm sipping on the Hazy, our Downright Hazy that we just came out with not too long ago.
Okay.
But I got this on reserve a little bit later. This is our pomegranate ale that I'm going to open up
What's
in a
that
little
ABV
bit.
though?
ABV on the pomegranate, I think we're at 5.7 with this one. Yeah, 5.7 on this one. And then on this one, we're at 6.3. on the hazy. So it's nice and hazy.
What kind of beer is the pomegranate, Will?
So it's like just regular old wheat ale that we came out with. Yeah, nice. With pomegranate extract to give that little pucker on the end of it. And then the hazy, we just added a little citrus related hops. I can't give all the secrets out, but make it nice and juicy. Right. Nice, hazy and juicy. Right. Already. But I'm glad to hear it, fellas. Good seeing y'all, man. I'm glad everybody is good and healthy right now during these times, Yeah, good seeing y'all, man.
Yep. You too. Yeah, what you drinking on?
So I am drinking I'm drinking Tall Tales Brewing Company's Hood with grapefruit. It's an Indian Pale Ale.
It's called Hood?
Yep.
Like Robin Hood.
Like Robin Hood or
I see that.
Where Vanity get her liquor from.
We'll say a little bit of both.
Robin Hood, you see the arrow through the can.
Yeah, you see that good grapefruit right there with the hop. So it's definitely got some juiciness to it. It's coming in at a 7.4 ABV.
Okay.
Cocktails, which we've had a couple times, so I should absolutely know.
It's like in Gaithersburg or something, right? Parkersburg,
right? Maryland. Respect the craft, love the liquid. I must agree.
Right.
I wonder if it can be mixed with Ashley's drink to make like a little beer cocktail kind of situation,
Yeah.
Okay. You can mix beers. You can do that with beer, like mix.
You mix whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Yes.
You can make beer cocktail. They make a lot of beer cocktails.
I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we're here for.
If I get finished with this one, I'm gonna open up a Goza, but I'll just bring that out later if I.
What's a Goza? Right.
Goza is kind of that gateway beer for folks that like fruity drinks or wines and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bit better, salty, easy on you. Yeah, salty. Yep. So definitely
like wine, and you want to start getting into beer, like they said, that's the one to start with.
The gateway.
Yeah, that's one. Okay. Yo, what you drinking on?
Yo, so I'm drinking a smoothie, right? See the can? This shit is hell. But it's a strawberry raspberry and apricots, right? When I tell you this shit is sweet, it is sweet. Yo, it's real sweet. But it's from Imprint out of Hatfield, PA, and this is a 6.4.
It's like a slushy sweet.
Yo, it's sweeter than that.
Wow!
Look at it.
So is it an ale? Is it a
yo, man, this is some sweet shit. It don't even say what I say it's sweet. It's so good, boy. You can eat and drink this like
you only got one of them?
Yo, I got two other kind though. Like it's not this
a different flavor.
Yeah, it's different flavors.
Same type
same
though.
Brand.
Yeah, it's still a smoothie.
All right. Lou, what you drinking on?
The Lou Belgium segment, we went to Boulevard Brewing Company. They're in St. Louis, Missouri. And we got because Devin mentioned that it is the Cinco de Mayo episode as well as this episode 69. I have a tequila barrel lime gose. It's a sour ale at a low 4.2%. Sorry, Devin.
But it is.
You can guzzle that.
Everyone.
You can guzzle that.
Cool.
It's part. It may be part of my chug because I don't know.
There you go. Chug a beer or chug a shot.
Right. And I have the Big Papa himself. I have Biggie Smalls from Bellefonte Brewing. It's a mix between their Small Wonder IPA and their Big Wonder IPA, which is where they come up with Biggie Smalls. It's 6.5%. It's a nice golden color. I have it in my 17% drip Jetson Remix glass as well.
Oh, that's tight. That's tight.
So it's a nice pour. So if you are ever in Delaware and you need to check out Bellefonte Brewing when it opens back up, actually you can still buy them and pick them up in a tap room. But it's definitely tasty. So I try to support local every chance I get. And I also have a second beer, but I probably won't get to it. But it is a crowler from Hangman Brewing Company. It's a nice light. It's their light mixture. It's like they use corn and honey malts. So it's a nice real.
Where Hangman at? That's the Delaware.
Yo, it's
in Claymont.
They right up on Philadelphia Pike.
Oh, that's the one that recently opened, right, Blue?
Yeah, they opened on March
okay.
13th. March 13th was their grand opening.
When the quarantine's effect went in.
Right. And they weren't necessarily ready or set up for online ordering or anything like that. It was their first day. So they just like last week with the online ordering and getting their beers out. But yeah, grand opening, grand closing.
Yeah. So they are open for business.
Don't say that. Don't speak their grand closing on.
Right. Well, no, he said they were good. He had an article in the paper about that. He said I think they'll be good for a little bit because they were going to just stay closed and just make beer, but they opened up and the public has been receiving them.
Well.
They sold out all their crowlers and growlers at one point. I think they have some more back in.
They better be glad they're in Delaware and they're not right. They right near PA, so they better be glad.
Right, and you can get if you have your growler, you can get your $10 fill up on your growler. So I'll be taking that back shortly.
Shortly, yeah, like after the day, huh?
Right. Oh yeah, well yeah, because it's mostly
back up.
I had it since Sunday.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Rob. What is it though? I didn't hear that. What is it?
It's called the Hangman Light. So it's like their lighter version, but it's with a honey and corn malt they use. So it's like a light lager.
Light lager.
Yeah. So it's but it's crisp, refreshing, but it's cool. It's definitely worth a try if you are passing through or in Delaware.
Nice.
Shout out to all my Delaware breweries out there.
Mm-hmm. Hang in there, guys. Hang in there. We need you.
Yep. All right. Like I said, this is episode 69, and we do have a lot of guests here, so we want to make sure we get to all of them and give them enough time to really understand who they are and what they do and how they do it. But we're going to start with the gentleman this time, just because of how it lines up. So we're going to jump in with Will. Welcome to the show. You can just give us a brief introduction of who you are, what you do, and how you do it.
I'm doing good, and I want to say thank you to the ladies for letting me go first. Please note that if it were in other order, the Southern gentleman in me would allow for you all to.
Sure. Probably picked to go first. Women, I'm before them.
Yo, don't start, man. Well, everyone, my name is William Allen Moore. I am the Chief of Operation of Georgia's first Black-owned operated craft beer company. What I do as the Chief of Operations is things like this, where I actually get out into the public, making sure that everyone knows and understands about down home and what we have going on. But in my contribution to the sex part of this, or the sex education part of this, for many, many years, I've been involved with sex education, specifically for men and young men. I was a sex educator for Planned Parenthood of Georgia for many, many years, doing a program called Boys to Men, where I taught young males about teen pregnancy prevention, the idea of manhood and masculinity, and what that meant and revolved with their relationships with not even just their significant others or their family, but like just women in general in their own neighborhood and community. And then I transitioned from there, got my master's of public health at Morehouse School of Medicine, where, like I said, I actually got my MPH, but my focus on my master's thesis was sex education, or sexual behavior, of males at historically Black colleges and universities. We actually did a survey to see if their behaviors and how that behavior correlated to their relationship with their sexual partners. Back in, God, that was like 10 years ago. Got that.
A long time.
And so, my background has always been about, sex education and health and really having that all people should have a very healthy relationship with sex. And that, goes from not just, the whole physical part of it, but also, how you're actually relating to your partner and ensuring that communication is healthy, making sure that you're open and honest with communication, and really just exploring, the best sexual healthy relationship that you may have. But like I said, said, in addition to that, I do I'm trying to, especially for men, I like to focus on men and especially Black and brown men, because I feel like a lot of times we haven't had that outlet to really talk through what sex and sex education means. And again, you can go all the way back to slavery and how our interaction with the Black family and how we were damn near bred as, young people, and really how that has had an effect to where we are right now with sex and sexuality, and we never got a chance to have that sit down with a therapist time to be like, why am I this way? And I interact with my, my boys a certain way, or why do I, interact with women a certain way, etc. And a lot of it has a lot of time to deal with some type of, residual trauma in some cases, or something that's there in your mind where you just never had a time to talk it out. And so I try to be an example of making sure that brothers, at the end of the day, we got to be open to, just having that conversation, that discussion, especially with our female counterparts, Yeah, so that's my tangent. That's my introduction. Thank you all again so much for, having me on here. I'm here to talk about sex, and I'm here to talk about beer.
Yeah. So when you said that you did a survey back 10 years ago, what did the survey actually consist of?
So it consisted of several questions, about 20 plus questions that we had for these men, to where they had to let us know about like their sexual behavior. And again, this was a survey where we did not gather any PII, personal identifying information. They basically provided us the information voluntarily provided it. Their name and their identity was protected. And we got to know, we asked several questions from, what type of protection that they decided to use, if they use a certain type of protection, was it coupled with another type of protection? For example, if I decided to use condoms, did I also use birth control, or make sure or have a conversation with my partner that they use birth control? And then we asked them about, the use of, condoms in a certain amount of time period with their partners. So if they had sex in the first 3 months, was protection used? In the 6 months of the relationship was protection used, and then 9 months. And we did see a little bit that the utilization of condoms went down as the time of the relationship continued on. And there was a lot of, and again, with data and the scientific method, you can always say something is, could be the possibility. Like basically causation doesn't mean, that this is the actual thing that it is. You have to be mindful that we just did a study and it showed the behavior of this particular group. It doesn't mean it's, painted for everyone. But it's still was very interesting information that we actually got to gather about these young men, and, was able to actually, continue to do some publication on and everything like that. So
I wonder what that survey looked like now, though. I think they using condoms the first time now.
And that's what I really wish and really want to know, like, how is it used in like this area of, because mind you, this is like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Tinder didn't
it's so
exist, eHarmony,
that's why I said that. Like,
all that stuff. Yeah. Like I really do wonder of how it looks now, because a lot has changed since then to where, we live in a different time, if you will.
It's so crazy because, what I was thinking about the other day is that, like nowadays you don't see as much information about AIDS either. No. Like it just went away. Like you get one commercial every once in a while, but that's it. Like back in the day, it used to be AIDS, and now they act like it don't even exist. Yeah, I'm like, these kids, like this is crazy. They don't even mention it.
That's why half of them are not afraid of anything.
Yeah, yup.
Yeah, and you do have, you have basically medication out there that can help you, that if you're positive and then your partner is negative, that if they're taking, they're on their prescribed, then there's a high chance that the partner can continue to remain negative, as well. So so I think it is, and I a long time ago kind of had this prediction of like, I definitely saw something like HIV and AIDS is eventually becoming something that's damn near like you treat like heart disease or something, right? Like if you do certain behaviors of enough times and you protect yourself to where it won't be as fatal as when it came out back in the 80s where it was just murking people left and right. Exactly. It's, but that's all with, the help of science, the help of, modern technology and everything like that. So it is very interesting to kind of see of, where it's going to. And
I just want to let all our guests know that we're kind of a free-flowing podcast. So if you have a question, even if the guests have a question for the guest, You can also be free to ask as well.
I had a question for the guest, but I didn't know when we were going to do that.
Until they actually start talking, though.
Right.
Will was like, yo.
Yeah, Tony, Tony Fauci, who's now, the man on the screen, when he first, got into medicine, he was the spokesman for CDC when it came to AIDS. Just as we were talking about that, and that's when it was like, actually running rampant. People were, like you said, dropping left and right, and now it's like, why aren't they pushing it? Why aren't they talking about it? Because just because they got a pill, that doesn't prevent you from contracting it if you're not, practicing,
I think they move on because they don't talk about polio either. So they move on. They're like, polio.
We know how to contain it. We know how to control it. So if you get it,
I guess that's why.
Life, if you do these things.
But polio was like a vaccine, though, wasn't it? Well, polio was a vaccine.
I said polio, but I meant polio. But yeah.
Polio. Okay, got it.
You could take
polio. Right.
Take so many medicines with HIV or AIDS. It's damn near like the same thing. It's just a one-time vaccine for polio.
Yeah, like man, they do have commercials here.
Polio making a comeback? Is polio making a comeback?
No, it was the measles or the mumps. It was one of those.
Yo, Lou made it sound like it was a band.
Come back on Drake's last shit.
All right. Any more questions for Will?
Well, on the beer side, talk a little bit about like what you think will be kind of like this year's kind of launch or new kind of exciting things we can see from Down Home Brewing.
Man, from Down Home Brewing, well, I do have a special announcement. It's low key like a exclusive to you guys, but we just and it's okay to say this because I did see the order sheet, but we did make our way into Target, and so we are actually going in Target. And shout out to Target, man! Like Target has I don't know when it happened, but Target like became low key the vehicle for young Black entrepreneurs of putting this stuff all the way from honey pie to like shout out to Target for real. Like we just had a conversation with them. They sent in their order cases throughout all of Metro Atlanta. They're about to they ordered both our pomegranate and our hazy, but then also our IPA that we have, and they're rolling us out in many Targets, which is giving us even more exposure. So shout out to them. I definitely had to put that plug out there.
Yes.
Y'all will see it on our posting, and we'll start like plugging in a little bit more. But here in Georgia, what like for real? When I saw that, I was like, and Lou, you'd be happy. Like the Bruz low-key helped out with that too. So I was very happy about that. Of like that the fact we're made in a Target, we're getting more exposure, and really. That was needed at this time right now when everything was happening because we're contract brew, we're small potatoes. And so when we got hit with everything with COVID, it was a bad situation for us of like, how are we going to get this out? Like we usually had a lot of our stuff in, bars and restaurants and everything like that. And then we had to make that quick pivot and make sure that people went straight to like, go by the brewery, pick it up, go by, this store, go by Total Wine, go by the, your local place that carried us in like, just please buy it out because that was really the only thing that was, outlets. And luckily, with Georgia opening up, like being one of the first states to open back up early and everything, we were able to get work it out to where now it came just in time when our inventory was getting low. So now we're able to like brew again and get it ramped back up and everything. And that came exactly around the time that the deal with Target came in as well. So that's what the crazy thing is. So look at God, right? Look at God. For real.
Well, Will, let me ask you this, being as though that you are in Atlanta and we haven't talked to many people in Atlanta since the COVID and y'all one of the first major cities, major states to open back up. How do you feel? How do the people around you? Like, what's going on? What's the vibe down there of people backing up, back up?
The best thing to summarize it is this meme I saw that had, like, it said about, like, how parents used to talk to their kids. And it said, the kid was saying, Daddy said I could go outside. The governor was like that. But the mayor, Keisha, he was like, yeah, but what your mama say? Said, you can go back out. Like, but what your mama say? So real talk.
I don't trust them people.
What? In real talk,
and they went up 1,000. They said they had 1,000 new
1,000 new cases.
Yeah,
1,000 new cases.
That's crazy.
1,000 new cases.
I
The
ain't
first.
fucking with that.
It's like, yeah, I'm chilling up here in the apartment, kicking it. Like, I'm good because this is like really. It's been open, but it seems like the general consensus from all of and this is just a very, unofficial kind of poll I've been taking with people, but everybody's on the same tip of like, I'm good staying in the crib. Like I'm chilling right here. I haven't had to deal with traffic, with none of the craziness that
shit's a setup. They took one of the blackest states and opened it up.
I'm
sure
the blackest
areas. What they opened up too, and what they opened up, like
barbershops and nail salons.
Yeah, they knew black people was gonna go out and get
everything
sick.
They knew we like.
They try to kill y'all off, man.
I'm good.
People don't have insurance in that industry.
The setup. That's how you know it's the setup when they open up nail salons, barbershops.
And they ain't open up. They ain't open up the bowling alley.
And the bowling. Come on.
I hope they all got Aflac.
Real talk. And Dev, to get to your point, I really appreciate that a lot of people have, at least from what I understand, are kind of having the same consensus that we're listening to our scientists right now. Like our scientists right now are who we need to listen to. And some of the scientists, like Dr. Fauci, has come in and been like, yo, black folks are getting adversely affected by this. And it's like with everything else, like, the U.S. gets a cold, we get the flu, like it always is going to affect us first and worst, at all times. And so you saw those numbers of, African Americans adversely affected with the death rates compared to other populations and everything like that. So it's like, come on, like stay your black ass inside, like just hold tight, chill out, like you'll be okay, at the end of the day, like. Right. Yeah, so shout out to all of the healthcare professionals. They're the real heroes out here in these streets. And shout out to the scientists that are speaking facts and not fiction at this time.
Right.
Quick poll. If they say you got to take a vaccine to return to work full time, you taking it or no?
I'm going to send it to you first, Dev, and you tell me how it goes.
That's not answering the
question. No, that's good. That's a good question. As a health professional, I would say that I trust, scientists enough where I'm fine with taking the vaccine, man. Like, I'm not one of those anti-vaxxers, man. I'm totally.
I ain't taking that shit.
Look, every single person is like, I'm good.
Will you take it first and you let us know?
I'll let y'all know.
All right, Ashley, what about you? You taking it or not?
I work from home, so
I don't care. You taking it or not?
She works from home, so she don't care.
No.
You said if you gotta go to work.
Return to work from home, work. You taking it or not?
Already?
No.
You're not taking it. Okay. Vanity, what about you?
Hell no.
I ain't taking it.
Taking that shit.
I'm the only one taking it. I'm the only one taking it.
I think you're the only one. Rob, you said no, right?
Well, because my thing is
how long these unemployment checks lasting?
Right.
Well, I work from home.
The vaccines be like iPhones, though. The vaccines be like iPhones. You know how when they first come out, you gotta wait.
Right.
Get them updates.
Yeah. And you be like, oh yeah, everybody keep saying they fucked up. I ain't gonna get it yet.
Well, y'all, something
that iPhone.
I always say the problem is they came out with I Am Legend, and the first thing they said was, we found a cure for cancer. And then zombies fucking happened after that. That's why I'm always, especially the way they're trying to quickly find the vaccine for us. And now you're like, oh, somebody's taking shortcuts.
And the pharma is plugged into that CDC. No thanks.
Yeah.
That big pharma.
Well, they gotta be plugged in. They gotta be plugged in because you can't get it out without. You can't get the vaccine out without.
So five no's and one yes, huh?
Hey, I'll be the first to do it, and if something happens to me, politicize my death. All right, y'all heard
exactly.
it first.
There we go.
We'll be like, thank you, Will.
Something has to be like.
Not be in vain.
We be like, Will took one for the team, y'all.
Took one for the team.
We will honor you forever.
Right.
Politicize my death.
Can I be a beneficiary?
That's going to my mama.
Yeah, you got
my
that
mama
shit.
getting all the. My mama getting all the coins. I'm sorry. Miramore is the first one.
Down. I'd be like, yeah.
But there is a COO position that was open for down home growing out here.
Hey, exactly.
All right. Science is our friend.
Yes.
So
I
think a lot of people have apprehensions on vaccines, especially in the Black community, because of Tuskegee and all that kind of stuff. So it's like,
yeah, man.
It's like, how do we get past that part? And it'll be
transparency, man. That's how we get past it. And that they not there. We're not there yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, will we ever get there until we have a true, I guess, we have to have a different society. We ain't there yet.
Good, just kind of one of the things I think about, like, how you can go to do, like, we've taken our kids to these places, like you can go to Hers and you can go to Jelly Belly Factory. You can do a little walkthrough.
You want to walk through the vaccine factory?
No, I want to see. Hey, look, I want to see what through the glass. I want to see kind of like what's going on, how they test, what they test for. I mean, we got young people that's getting into science, right? Whether it's for the advancement of minorities, in engineering or in medicine. That could be beneficial to people who want to get into that career. So, like, why not set it up to where we can go and we can actually see kind of, up close and personal view of what's happening.
That once you get to that career doing it, but just a regular bystander that's going in there looking at shit that they still ain't going.
I mean, but the world is taking their advice on it. So you're saying just that career, but like the world is taking that corporation or that organization's advice. So why not? It's if they operate in the way they should be, like, it don't have to be obviously a full-blown thing, but
I think it starts with government, and then government gives them the resources, because all of the research starts in the government part, and I think they're doing it around the world. So it's like you just gotta wait and see and see what happens.
Yeah. I think to your point, Devin, it's the transparency that you're looking for. Like at Jelly Belly, you see all the types of sugars and the flavors that are going into the jelly beans, but you like, what's that little extra 0.2% that's in my vaccine, and why did y'all put that filler in my vaccine? What is that going on?
The artificial flavors.
You're telling me to put it in my body.
Like, at least now, like the FDA, you gotta know what the artificial flavors are, but
you technically don't. You technically don't.
Extra is 50% filler in this vaccine. What's the extra 50% doing? Like, I want to know. Devin, you're right.
You probably eat stuff that says natural flavor, but you don't know what that natural flavor is. Yeah. That natural flavor can be
natural flavors
so you don't. Right. So
but it tastes like
right, but they can make the vaccine taste like chocolate chips if you want. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's true.
All right,
moving on.
We're way off.
Hey,
let's get back into our guest. That's me. Just jump back into it. Oh well, any more questions for Will? I think we covered them all.
Vanity, Ashley, y'all got any questions for him?
No, I'm good.
Questions for him? I just feel kind of bad. I mean, I hope he's gonna be okay taking that vaccine.
I was like, where's she going with this? Why does he have no clue?
Yo, but it's each his own. Everybody has one grave and one life to live.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey. Fucking life, not mine.
Out of all of these credentials I just gave y'all worried about the vaccine question was the one that I feel some type of way, sisters. I can't get. Okay. I see how this interview is going.
It's not about science. It's not about any of the credential shit. It's about you being a black man in America. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Talk about another black man. No, it doesn't matter about any of that shit. It matters about you taking care of your body with natural things. Our ancestors, it's so many, everybody worried about what the scientists saying. Take care of your body. You know your body.
There you go.
Like, it's period. I'm tired of all this other shit. Like,
she got good pretty skin.
It's more than that. It's serious. Like,
that's why she put the shoulder out on him.
It's more than that. I'm just saying, like, so it's just like, okay, I mean, to each his own.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, though.
Each his own.
Right.
Each his own.
All right. Well, that voice you heard there was Vanity Constance. She gives solutions to business. So we want to know more about what
and solutions
doing.
To health.
And she giving it, and if you're watching this on YouTube, she giving us the shoulder. She giving us the shoulder lean as well. If you're watching on YouTube as well. So Vanity, welcome to the podcast. Like I said to Will, tell us what you do, how you do it, and how long you've been doing it.
Okay, so I've been working in the nonprofit sector for the past 8.5 years. And what I do in the nonprofit sector, and even for for-profit agencies, I create solutions. So my whole entire business is like VC create solutions. So I go in schools. I have an after-school program. I've been all throughout the state of Delaware. I help people when it comes to branding and marketing, flyer content, and just making an overall business the best it can be. So if someone comes with me to a problem after we have our consultation, I figure out a quick solution for it. It's all about who you know and how we can connect and engage. So I also enjoy creating experiences where we're celebrating other people. I really like fundraisers and doing things out in the community. So yeah, I'm pretty well known for the stuff I do out in the community and just helping out others, figuring out solutions.
Yo, Rob, I had tried to get her to help with the Juneteenth, and then
Juneteenth. I said, give me the.
I know. You didn't let me finish. Jeez,
he was excited. You heard all that passion.
She thought you were throwing her under the bus.
I was recruiting you for Juneteenth, and then the Corona came up, and that just shut everything down. So it was just like
we can still do something.
Maybe next year, 2021.
2021.
I mean, doing something could be virtual. Doing something could be true. Like 6 feet apart. I see these white people meeting up, and they're all 6 feet apart in the parking lots and shit. I'm like, that's still meeting up, Tom. That's still meeting up, Karen.
So for an event like June 15th, Juneteenth, that's huge. Like, tell me, like, what part you might play in making, or adding value to Juneteenth, Vanity.
Okay, so I'm all about strengthening strengths. You got to work with these strengths. My strengths is more so promo, marketing, and getting the word out. So I also have like e-newsletter and things of that nature, but just promo and marketing, getting people to be educated about what it means, how to be involved, and action steps after that. So that's me. What's up?
Awesome. You got a good speaking voice too. So, I mean, depending on if it was like, concerts or talking about sponsorships and all like that kind of stuff, you seem like you'd be very much of a out in the front type of person, get on the stage and kind of talk.
Yeah, she'll talk.
She'll talker.
Yeah. I mean, I do speaking engagements, but like, yeah, I do. Thank you for that. Thank you.
So how do you feel about sex?
How do I feel about sex? I feel like, why you laugh? It's serious. I mean, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. Like,
because we want to talk about sex now. I just thought I'd throw it out there.
We all sexual beings. I feel like everybody has their own fetishes, their own fantasies, their own things that they want. I don't feel like enough of us know our bodies enough where we can't. I mean, I know Ashley can speak more to this, but I just feel like we haven't explored our bodies and we just try to like replicate porn so much and replicate what we see that it's confusing. Like niggas be trying to can I say that? I'm sorry. I mean,
like whatever you want.
You done cussed about 6 times and you gonna say, can I say niggas? Come
on. So I'm just saying like, okay, like I feel like people try to, instead of being like connected emotionally and like, not everybody wants to be connected. I feel like some people just want to fuck, and it's frustrating because like I actually want a connection. I actually want to build and stuff, but nowadays nobody wants that. It's like, no, like what? Like feelings? Let's go with the flow. Oh, let's just chill. Let's just no.
I hear a lot of single people that always say it's hard out here for.
It is.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Ashley.
I think men have more options than women.
Yes.
You know one thing I always consider though. I think like Instagram fucked it up for a lot of women.
Like I think so. Yo, I can attest to that. Honestly, I can attest to that. You know, I can agree.
I think so. Because it's like a lot of things that you see online. It's been like that back in the day too, but not as aggressive as it is online with like Instagram. Like all these pictures, these women on here doing all types of shit, and it's like then you go in the real world and you looking for it's niggas out here that's looking for that and they ain't finding it.
Yeah.
So you go back to going on Instagram hunting down women and like the real women out here suffering. Like it's crazy.
I told one of my friends, like, I think you have to get dudes like right after college. That age, it kind of goes downhill from there. Before you have all the kids.
You trying to hurry up and catch them.
24, 25 age group.
Getting behind bars.
Yeah. It's just
actually said, catch him before he falls.
Will, are you single?
So, yeah.
So how is it for a man in the single life world now?
You said many Instagram bitches, man. I'll be
So, and I'm glad. Thank you for coming to me because I do want to like just kind of just going off of something that Yo just said. I do understand and see that like a lot of the women, especially that are out there on Instagram and everything like that, I don't want to knock them. I'm not in the business of like shaming anyone. And like, do your thing. If that's how you make your money and you are, you know, helping your family, you feeding your kids, that's everything. That's great. Do your thing. My only problem is when you have a certain type of audience that is exposed to that doesn't know better. I feel like and this is present company included, I feel like we being older individuals, we know better, right? Yeah, but I'm thinking of like my little nephew that definitely doesn't know better. He's seeing this and he's thinking, you know, and not saying he is, but he could see that. And luckily he has myself, he has his mom, he has others that could be like, teach him the difference of like, no, that's, they don't have this is not real. Right. Like nothing's wrong with watching porn. Nothing's wrong with the, you know, Instagram girls getting their money. Nothing's wrong with all of that. But when you start to think that, oh, this is like real life, that's real world. That's real, when that's where I start to get the issue. And as a, you know, a single male, like I see that and I'm happy that I am able to kind of differentiate and navigate all that, and I know the difference in everything. I just get really scared about these young brothers out here that really don't know the difference, and they don't have anyone to tell them like, yo, that shit is not real life. You gotta consider that this is all fantasy stuff out there, but when these women aren't really out like that. That girl took 28,000, you know, pictures before she got that right one that's put up there. This is airbrush. This is that. But what does this money equate to long-standing values? What is this her, you know, doing this, doing that? What does that equate to building a family? You know, really expressing communication between you and, you know, the person that you care for. And that's where I get a little scared about just as a single male, because there's some brothers out there that can see that and just get lost with it. Now, again, I'm not holier than thou. I look at the shit. I like Cake Friday like anybody else. You know, like I'm on there looking at the cakes and the chicks, and you're like, hey, and I'm looking at
them clubs. You go to them kind of clubs, right? You go to them clubs. You go to them strip clubs.
Hell yeah, I do.
I don't even know what Cake Friday is, but
some shit I just made up. Scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on Instagram on Friday, looking at all the cakes and cheeks and everything.
We'll take a Friday out. That's what he does.
Friday, Cake Friday. I need to not have work the next day. Yes, I need I need to be off the following day. You know, like I mean, you know, and again, I'm here in Atlanta, y'all. This is like the home of these strip clubs. I mean, straight up, you know, and nothing wrong with a shoe show from time to time, or, you know, participating in a little, you know, ritualistic voyeurism, as I like to call it. You know, like
see my eyes rolling. I'm trying to roll my eyes. Oh, whatever.
But you rolling your no.
I thought you were nodding off.
Yeah, let me use my $10 words. Some ritualistic voyeurism. We are appreciating the female body in its essence, but at the same time, I'm being concerned of the young girls and making sure that they're okay. So I actually like talking to strippers. I'm like, hey, you know, I like to.
So most of the time,
exactly.
Maybe we should stop calling them strippers, calling them
customer
exotic dancers, or visual artists.
I guess technically, would they be considered sex workers?
I like look, Ashley like that name, that visual artist. That's a good one.
They are sexual fantasy workers? I don't know.
They are visual fantasy workers. They are visual artists because
they are a naked customer service rep.
No, because they visually.
See, what is it? Naked customer service. NCS?
NCS? Yeah. What about shoe models? Shoe models?
Shoe model? I don't have a foot fetish.
Actually, I have been a shoe model. Listen, I have done some fetish shit though for people.
What did you do that was fetish? Like what?
You ready to disclose?
You brought it up.
I don't care. Like,
I know,
it is what it is. Like, look.
Because you said it.
Well, on her Instagram, it does say creator, alchemist, lover. So we know she about that.
I'm just saying, like, I'm just who I am. Like, whatever. But it's all about, everybody has something that they want, you know? So I like doing, like, non-sexual fetishes. So it's just like a lot of foot fetishes. People are like really like that kind of stuff. So yeah.
That's the only one that you've done for somebody?
That's all the one she gonna say.
That's the only no. Like, to be honest, like the no, I've never been a sex worker or nothing, no. But no, when it comes to like fetishes, if I was, I'll have stories for days. I'll be like, look, here's what happened, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the foot modeling all about then?
foot modeling, niggas love fucking feet, and they will pay for it. I got like the fuck. That's it.
Wait, Vanny,
it's just
question:
pictures. It's not like in person.
Is it this or is it this? Who who really likes it for real? Because I don't.
Black dudes.
What do you mean?
Men like a black man like it too.
Yeah,
Okay,
black men like feet
what
too,
do you mean? I've gotten. Oh my god, I've been places like locally in Delaware.
Like brothers are into that. Brothers like.
I didn't know.
This brother sat down. I put my feet up, and he actually came over to me and was like, "Can I massage your feet?" And I was like, "Sure."
And that's all he wanted to do.
That's all he wanted.
Sometimes that's that play of
play.
Like, let me massage your feet and then go higher.
My friends, listen. My friends that were there, my friends think. No, listen. My friends think.
Oh, too soon.
All my friends, yeah. But my thing is, it was a brother. It was an older man. He was like in his 40s.
Oh, yeah, he didn't want to come on too strong to you.
He was an older man in his 40s.
Yeah, he didn't want to come on too strong to you, B.
Listen, they have needs. No, listen, they have needs. And if you could provide those needs and you're not if you feel like you're not disrespecting yourself, if you can look in the mirror the next day, and you can, it all comes up to you. Everybody's different. Some people don't mind putting a pussy. That's their business.
Right.
Baby cares about her business. And so I feel like if I can't help with that, fuck it. Why not?
Because you're a helper. Like, you ain't just gonna let the man that had no feet.
Well, I'm actually a businesswoman at the end of the day. You got built. You know what I mean? I'm a businesswoman. The fuck?
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, but I mean, in college, I've seen that massage game work out where they start with the foot. And then they got the calf muscle.
Slide up to the thigh.
It was like
it's a finger all up in you.
Not going nowhere else.
So I've seen that, but the older men do tend to have more, not 40 being old.
Yeah,
40 is not old. I said old. Right. He's older human.
But
he was showing you. All he was showing you was his Ralph Tresvant side. He was going to get to
where. I don't care. Like,
wait. So hold on.
I didn't know. Like, huh?
Did he? So that's all he did. He just walked off after he massaged him.
So here's what happened. It's a whole story. I want to do like. Do y'all want to hear the whole story or no?
Yeah.
Sure. Just give it to us.
Story time. No, basically, okay. So I was in there looking cute with my homies, all my girls and stuff. We in there. I kept sitting down because my feet were hurting, and
on them stilettos.
This one guy just kept being like, "Yo, your feet hurt." He kept talking about my feet, and I'm like, "Bro, like, get away." First up, I was like, "Yo, what does he want?" But he just kept saying like, "Yo, your feet hurt," and I was like, "Yeah, okay." My girlfriends, hollering. They're like cracking up. So at the end, the last time I sat down, he came over to me and was like, "Yo, got you something?" I was like, "Sure." He was like, "Yo, can I massage your feet?" I was like, "You can massage my foot?" "Sure." So I didn't think he was serious. Like, I didn't think it was real. You understand? Like you know how you say something like, "Yeah, you can buy me a drink. Yeah, you can do something." No. I really was just like, okay, I took it out. He really massaged my foot. And then
your eyes was rolling in the back of your head, wasn't it?
No. I let it happen for a couple seconds. And then I was like, I pulled my feet away and I was like, this is fucking weird. I was just like.
So you weren't with it.
Oh, you thought about it.
I thought about it.
You was in a club.
I wasn't in a club. It wasn't a club.
But there's pressure points on the foot, so he might have hit the right pressure point.
I can't say. I'm not going to say. Listen, I'm not going to say.
He hit that right pressure point. Oh no, this is too much.
Yo, what's his name? What's his name? We know. What's his name?
Listen, my friends.
That's 6 seconds.
My friends were cracking up. I remember we walked to the parking lot and he what's your name? And they oh, her name's Sabrina. They just trying to help me out. And I'm like, oh yeah, it was nice meeting you. Bye. But he was really that was a really.
He was full press.
And what did he say to you? He said, "My name's Will from Atlanta."
I have no idea.
No, but if you listen to the podcast, he now knows her name is actually Vanity. So he's like, there she is. That's the one.
I found her ass.
Yes, Sabrina.
He put himself on Front Street being all loud and shit. He was about the shit. He didn't care.
Crazy. That's crazy.
But anyway,
story.
All right.
Part of the foot rubbing feel good or no?
I don't know. My sensors weren't. I wasn't sure. So I don't know.
called your bluff, and it weirded you out.
The foot has pressure points, so it probably did. It probably was just like,
it was tingling in areas that she wasn't expecting.
All y'all funny.
She said, "Oh, it's not
shit. Oh no,
tingling where it's not supposed to be."
Cannot go this far.
This is weird. Oh my god.
It's not as weird as I thought.
It's weird.
He got a advanced game, so he knew where the pressure point was. So he was probably doing the same thing.
Nigga been massaging feet for years, nigga.
Right.
How long ago was this?
He knew exactly what he was doing.
Summer of like 2018. It had to be 20. It wasn't last year.
Still on your mind.
I mean, if we're relating to a story here, I'm like, that was a wild story for me because I'm like, this is not common.
That's
I think this is a good segue.
Yeah, that's
nobody have any other questions.
Yeah. I mean, we can still ask questions doing that, but it is a good segue for Miss Ashley Cobb, Sex with Ashley blog, or is it sexwithashley.com? Is it? That's what it is?
Sexwithashley.com.
And she is a sex fluencer. I've seen her on the page. Sex fluencer, sex blogger.
All that.
She does it all. She's also an entrepreneur with the Botanicals as well. Yeah, doing it all. So we want to welcome you to the show.
Welcome.
And you can tell us exactly what you do, how you do it, and how long you've been doing it.
Let the floodgates begin. Let the floodgates.
Here comes Dirty Dad. I see you, Dirty Dad.
I all things sex. So I am a sex blogger. That's what I do by day, I guess, whatever. So
by day, by night.
Yeah. So initially, I wanted to, I guess, tell stories or educate or help Black women who look like me, to be able to remove the taboos and all this stuff that we have that relate to sex. I'm from the South, so in the South, you don't really do sex if you're not married and all that jazz, right? So I use my site I share some of my personal stories. I give tips and all this other stuff to help women and whoever they're sleeping with to have better sex lives. I also am an erotic coach, so I teach classes. I teach like blowjob classes, penis massage classes. All those. So I help women and men to have better sex lives, and with that, I have, like he said, I have a CBD company, which is a sexual health and wellness CBD company because I'm sex. So we create self-care, foreplay, and painless sex. Those are the goals of the company and our products. So we promote foreplay. We have like edible body butter and painless sex. We have like lube, and we have like massage oil for foreplay again. So so the goal is because there's a lot of women, Black women particularly, who have endometriosis, PCOS, and have other things that prevent them from being able to enjoy pleasure. So my goal is to put women all over to be able to.
Because I was wondering on that whole like painless sex. What
did you say? Edible anal butter? Is that what you said?
It's edible butter. You can use it for anal, oral, whatever.
Okay.
Look at Yoda in the middle. Yoda in the middle.
I keep your anal butter.
And you lick it off.
Gotcha. So edible butter.
Too. So like it has the CBD. You get the benefits of it being.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Health benefits.
That's
okay.
So
back to the painless sex. You find that there's a lot of women or men that come to you with having pain during sex?
Not men, women, yes. Like a lot of
men ain't sharing. Men ain't sharing. You know they ain't sharing nothing.
Have nose sniffs, and we have endometriosis. So like what happens is with a lot of women, it's kind of like what happens with endometriosis is with our periods and stuff. It creates pain. So if you're having pain and you're having like these horrible cramps, or if your pelvic walls are not constricting and they're not opening up when the penis goes in, that creates pain.
Is that more common in African American women?
It is.
Okay, I thought so.
Wow.
So what CBD does in general, it helps to relieve pain, helps relieve inflammation, and also increases sensation in whatever area it touches. So like the lubes and the massage oils and all that jazz, supposed to be able to help your whatever you put it on, help it to relax and help it go tight and help your entry point for penis to come in. Yes.
So I got a question about that entry point. I'm about to say, can you put that like right on your penis to enter into a woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it works better probably if it's on the whatever the direct thing is. So like for example, I'm having like cramps or vaginal pain. So if you put it on, you take your finger and
rub it around that area.
Directly on that area.
So that's not just for sex, though. That would just
I was about to say this is like
just pain,
on
right?
your cycle type of time, right?
Not even on
that. Some people have pain outside of your cycle.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm saying this could be just used for just that purpose, though, not just for sex, right? Okay.
Right.
Ashley, do you primarily oh, sorry. Is it question time, fellas?
Yeah, you can ask the question.
I've been up here writing like my questions. Look, I got my phone. I'm like, okay, I got question. Y'all see me looking down the line. I'm like, okay, question here. I got like a series of questions that I have for the ladies here. So Ashley, let me ask you: do you primarily put the emphasis on African American women? Because for some reason, I just see, and again, this is just my own observation. There's probably not. There may be research and data that backs it up, but it seems like African American women tend to be more impacted by like fibroids. I tend to see a lot of African American women like aunts, some nieces, ex-girlfriend. I see a lot of people that fibroids tends to be like the number one thing with Black women, Black and brown women, and with the pain during sex. I did have an ex where she had one, I think it was like the size of a softball or something like that, that was right there at the uterus. Because if I'm correct, the fibroids are from when the egg is released from the ovary and then goes into the uterus, but it doesn't dispel out like it normally would during her menses every month. Instead, it's embedded into the uterine wall and then becomes cancerous, right? Or something like that.
So help,
I told y'all I got degrees. Listen, y'all thought I was playing.
now you talking like you got degrees, damn it. Come on, man.
But it was painful during sex with her. And so that's what my question is to you, Ashley. Like, do you primarily see maybe more African American women tend to be your primary target or a group of individuals that you speak to, because it seems to like adversely affect Black and brown women more than it does our counterparts?
Yeah, so like my whole brand is geared towards African American women because I'm Black. Right. And there are enough sex bloggers, educators, whatever, that are like white, and no shade to them. But I felt like when I got into this, there was not enough people who looked like me. And I think we, as a whole, learn better from people who look like us and can share our stories. Like, my whole marketing and target audience are Black people. Now some other people follow me, cool beans. It's just not really geared towards them. So I feel like with Black women, like, I think they're more open to share with me because I'm Black. I can kind of relate to their struggle versus some, Becky with the blonde hair type thing.
I mean, that's the same thing as porn. You don't want to watch no white porn.
Yeah, no,
I can't relate to white porn.
That's true.
I watch both.
Yeah, me too.
Because you can relate to white porn.
Right.
It depends on the day.
You can relate to the sex.
That's not nothing to relate to. Is penis and hole, penis and hole.
Nah, I can't watch white porn. I just think of raw chicken meat.
Not the pig meat. No.
I did a blog post, I think it was like a month ago, about like all my top Black porn sites, and
I saw that. Yep. Yeah.
Just went like viral.
Yeah, I saw that link.
Yeah.
I need to check that out. But actually, I got a question. So is there like a typical thing amongst Black women that they constantly come to you for? Like, is there a frequently asked question that Black women actually ask?
I get a lot of, is this normal type questions. Because, we don't really talk about sex, really. Not like we should. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, I experienced this during sex, or I did this, or my body reacted this way. Is that normal? Yeah, that's normal. Or I get a lot of people who want to try different things and they don't really like want to. Like, for example, because like a couple years ago, I wrote about my like thing into like swinger clubs. I used to do that off and on for a little bit. So I wrote about it. And
off and on for a little bit. That's not like.
Yeah, you know. So,
we're not gonna skip past that. Let's talk about the swingers.
Nothing's wrong with swinger clubs, Ashley. They are nice, and it's a great. It's a great way to meet people.
Talk about it. It's off right now.
It was funny because once I like came out and was like talking about it and had like a whole thing about it, people were like, oh shoot, like I'm interested in swinger clubs. They didn't know who to ask. They're like they're black people, and they're like, well, I don't know nobody ask, so they asked me all the questions.
You're right.
Right. So
you're right.
Because I always think black people don't do swingers.
Shit. Come to Atlanta. Shit. Ashley, where are you? Ashley, where are you
Atlanta,
from?
In
North Carolina.
You're from okay. Because here in Atlanta, we have like one of the biggest.
I know. I know about the one in Atlanta.
Yeah.
In Atlanta.
I'm going to Trapeze.
Trapeze. It's Trapeze.
I'm going there. I was supposed to be there like this month, but COVID. Anyway, so whenever this frees up, I'll be down there because I want to compare that one because in Atlanta to like other ones. Because from my personal experience, it's always more of them than us. And then when we're there, we're always more covered. And they're kind of like this balls to the wall, just naked, whatever.
Right. So how do swinger clubs work? So how
that's what I was going to say.
Well, basically, oh shit! I'm sorry.
Oh, damn.
Never mind, dude.
I got my card
Share both of their experience.
Well, I'm glad you asked.
You go first, and then Will.
I'm a platinum member.
I've done clubs and parties. Okay. Club is like a regular club, like you go to. It has music and all that jazz, DJ, food, all like a regular club. It's just behind the club or in the side of the club, how they have the room section off or whatever. You have like rooms, and so like there's
beds and beds. And beds.
Of course.
Right. Okay.
And so like some of the rooms you have like theme rooms, like orgy rooms. You have rooms that have like glory holes. You have rooms that have like whatever BDSM rooms. And so
Rob, can you take it? Can you handle it?
Right, Rob?
All right. I'm listening.
Rob? Or I tell people when you go to a swinger club, you can do as little or as much as you want. Like you can go and just look, or you can go like, and typically when I've gone before, I've gone with the person who I was dating. So like we just kind of go and do and like use their equipment because I don't have it in the house. And then go home. Right?
That's smart. Damn. You a genius.
What's that movie with the guy who had those
Eyes Wide Shut?
50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah, Shades of Grey. Any room set up like that?
Yeah, she said
She didn't say that. I didn't hear that.
You have rooms with swings, paddles, like all that stuff. So, like,
jacuzzis, you got pools, you got jacuzzis. There's some of them. You got.
Come on, Will. Tell us yours.
With this COVID-19, would y'all still do that shit on their equipment?
Nah, I'm holding tight. Okay. I'm waiting. I'm not going to a swinger club until 2022. I'm waiting. I'm holding tight. I'm waiting. No, but I mean, and to piggyback on what Ash was saying, it depends on where you go to. Every club isn't made the same. They have different membership purposes. A lot of them tend to be the same of where, like, and I know the fellas are wondering about this. Before a guy, like, you go into it, it tends to be that the guys are charged more, especially if you're a single guy going in.
And don't you have to couple?
You do. If you're a couple, then you can go together, and it's like a membership price that's for the both of you that you share for 6 months of year, however much you get it for. But then for single women, they allow for single women to come in, but again, depending on the club, because they have to be very mindful of where they are, they have to notice that if the woman is there and if she's like charging or anything like that, that's illegal, so you can't be like in there and be soliciting sex to other people for a price and everything like that. And it's not right, because a lot of these places, especially here in Atlanta actually had a tax recently on places that could possibly be locations that solicit human trafficking, and places like strip clubs and some other types of clubs, they can easily be hotbeds for human trafficking. So they've bumped up, the security and the scrutiny of individuals that are coming in there because they basically don't want to get hit with that fine, which is a pretty hefty fine if you're caught that your place was the place where contributed to, something like that. But I mean, it's cool to go to. I mean, everything is there's kind of it's fun. To be honest with you,
I would like to experience it. I would like to experience it.
I thought that's what you said.
Can I tell y'all a funny story too? Well, let me
couples and committed monogamous relationships that go to swingers clubs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just going for it's entertaining.
It's like a strip club, like going to a strip club.
Because you don't have to have sex.
You don't have to have sex.
Exactly. You can be there to be a voyeur. Exactly. You can be there to watch.
Or you can have sex and say, "Can't nobody see or come in on this?" Like it's
exactly.
Go off to the side.
Yeah, like it's like taking her a significant other at the time, and they was going there using the equipment. So it's like, I guess
that's what I do.
Want to do what you want.
Now is it like you got to test for something, or is it just you just gotta go straight condom and all that kind of? Is that how that works?
Say what now?
What happened to Will?
Will's sound went out.
His sound went
out.
Like,
is it like you have to take like
we can't hear you,
HIV test, or do you have to, or is it just like
condom? They do. All the clubs I've been to, they do come with condoms and all that stuff. They have that stuff there for you. I mean, I bring my own stuff, with me, but they do have that there for you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, you can have your own there just to make sure and.
Compromised.
It's like a bucket of mints. I don't want to walk in, grab.
Yeah.
Grab the mints. Grab the mints. Grab that bowl. You got that bowl of them. The bowl of them golds.
Right. Hey, can I tell y'all a funny quick story?
Yes.
So like I was gonna go. This was some years back, with like some group of people and everything, and so I'm like, let me get my swinger body ready because I didn't want my shit to look all crazy and everything out there. So I'm in the gym extra hard working now, trying to get my four pack to beer belly ratio looking good and everything. So I'm up there going hard. Man, walk up in there. It's these old white dudes in there. They out there just barely hanging, swing. And I think that's another thing that has to be talked about. Like everyone think it's just on some like sexy eyes. No, it's regular ass people in there, normal looking, however the hell. They really just in the lifestyle. And it really does kind of give yourself a little bit of a humbling of like, man, I'm worried about all this. It's like this person is out here free, loving themselves, enjoying themselves.
It changes your perception of what you see on the porn videos and all like that.
Exactly.
You used to seeing like these, sexy models in the pumps. And this dude, he didn't worked out, 8 days a week, if that was possible.
I started watching that amateur side.
Pop up and see your uncle on there.
Right.
With his old beard belly.
Is that my dentist?
Question for Ashley.
Yes.
Sex lights on or off?
I guess it kind of depends on what mood I'm in.
Facts.
Prefer? What's your preference?
I prefer probably lights off.
Okay. Yeah. Just a question.
I prefer lights off. I feel like that's a question for everybody.
Lights.
Yeah, I was great. That's why I said vanity. What about you? Lights on or off?
I'm gonna have to agree with my sis Ashley. It really depends on like the mood, the person. I may want like a light in the corner on just for like some sexy shit, But
you don't do all that.
wait, like some what? Can you do that again, Vanity? What was that? That one shoulder was. She did the out shoulder too. Look.
Anyway. No, it all depends. Like it really depends. Because sometimes if I'm bloated and I'm about to start my cycle, I'm being serious. This is like if y'all want the real fucking want the real like, sometimes it's like we go through more stuff as women than y'all do. So like depending on how we are, like our mood, like we're very it switches up.
You can't say that because you ain't no man. You don't know you go through more stuff than men do because you never know.
I ask questions to the people. I ask questions. I'm based on the people that Vanity has dated, right, been with, I ask certain questions. So that's based on Vanity shit.
Because sometimes the man ain't filling up the par either. He just be like, he might want the lights off. I mean,
I'll say this. I think it's like when I'm like, we're on vacation and stuff like that. We in the islands or whatever. Obviously, it's more free flow and it's happening, any parts of the day. So it's like, during the day, it's like, and you ain't worrying about if you're on the island and the water behind you or like that. You ain't worried about being, in the dark and the shades closed and everything like that. You like, let's do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think men tend to be more lights on, right? Like if you're
we don't give a fuck if the lights on. If the lights on, hey, it's on.
I think men are more visual, so I think
men are more visual. Exactly.
Yeah,
we more visual. Like I like to see it, and I don't care. I mean, you could have a little fupa going. You know, it doesn't matter, man. To me, like I want to see the stretch marks. I want to see the
together. You fine.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, I want to see.
I want to see what I'm doing.
Man, what? Stretch marks and everything.
And if you watch porn, you see everything. So it's like I think porn probably trained you to say like you want the lights on because you can see everything that's happening.
That's fine.
That's definitely fair to say.
Yeah, I want to see stretch marks, cellulite, and then low key. It's beautiful. I mean, a woman's body is beautiful. I want to see the flaws and all, man. I want to see little tiger marks on the booty. Y'all don't know tiger stretch marks on the little. Come on, man. Little tiger king. Roll the tiger king on the booty, man. I mean, and you get some baby oil going or some coconut oil. Come on, man.
Look at Vanity. Look at me. Look at me.
Now I do have.
I should be looking like that too. Like, yo.
I do have. I posed this question to our followers on Instagram. I think I got like 1 or 2 serious questions. Some of them were just ridiculous. Like, check out my music page or some shit like that.
I got 3 of those. I got 3 of those.
Right. But one of the questions was, how do I? Hold on. Let me get it right. How do I introduce sex toys in the bedroom with my mate?
Ooh.
There you go, Ash. Get them.
So, I tell people all the time, you can communicate, or I would do it slowly. I would go to a sex store with my partner. Mm-hmm. I would have them to, find something that they like, that they want to explore. Once they find something, we're going to go home. And then we're going to explore it together. So the whole point of sex toys, I think with a lot of people, especially men, y'all sometimes think that the toy
takes over or
yes, and it kind of like, you don't really need me no more. You got the toy, and that's not true because the toy is not human touch, right? So we still human touch. And then you have toys. There's a lot of toys that are couple-based toys that you need 2 people to work. Mm-hmm. So yes, I would go get a toy, have him pick it out or have her pick it out, and then go home and use it. And then that way they're like, okay, it's not that bad. Oh, I like this. Let's go try another one later. That's how.
Or I don't like it. Maybe we should try something different.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Hey, Ash, can you speak on to toys for men as well with their partner, with women? Because a lot of times brothers think that it's the toys and they're only for the women that are going, but there's some stuff out there that,
I'm about to say, because to Will's point, because I could tell you something I've used that came with the pack of condoms. But let's see if Ashley talks on it first, and then I'll share.
You got a free gift. You got a free gift with a pack of condoms, nigga.
Hey,
man. I like to use on men would be like masturbator sleeves or like fleshlights. So you can
fleshlight. Huh.
Yeah, so you can masturbate him. Instead of him doing it himself, it creates more fun. You're doing it, and then you can lick the head or something while that's going on. You have cock rings that they vibrate.
Cock rings, boom. That's what I'm talking about right there.
I knew that was what you talking about, Devin. Yep.
They ain't never bought one of them packs. They ain't never bought one of them packs.
I never heard them coming with condoms, but
they do.
They do. They do. Actually,
I don't know when the last time I bought condoms.
If you're into like anal, they have like anal plugs that vibrate too. But that's a thing too. So.
Okay.
For a man.
Okay.
All right. Which brings me to my second question that I got. It was about anal. It was like, how do I get my partner to try it?
Is that for a guy or a girl, or for your?
Yeah, who's that for?
This was a guy. I'm not gonna say who it was, but yeah.
Right. So he wants anal.
He wants to try it.
He may want anal. Who knows? We don't know.
Yeah. Anal sex is a thing you have to brace yourself for. Like, it's not something that you can just do. Like, you have to prep, right, and get your mind right.
I was going to say, what's the preparation for anal?
Get your mind right. So like, it depends. Like, if you some people like to do enemas or whatever. It just kind of depends on what your thing is. But like if it's a woman who's never had anal, I would start by doing like finger insertions first, like do my fingers 1, 2, then work up to like butt plugs, and then anal beads, right? So she gets comfortable with something in her ass. That's a feeling you have to get comfortable with. It's not something that just happens naturally.
Is this the course? Is this over the course of a couple sessions
before this? Yeah.
I don't think that works, Dev.
A couple of sessions. Yeah. To go from
just go to that's nasty, Dev.
Right. If you put a bottle in there, you might as well didn't put your penis in there.
Yeah, I know.
I was using the can as the slong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
for later, you know.
Gradually, baby step, whatever it is. Now, if they are used to anal and they cool with it, okay, then you can gradually insert your penis. And then for a woman, I kind of tell them you might not want to give the man all the control, so you can ride it like you ride regular penis with your coochie, or you can do it from the side, and that way he has limited access as to how to go in.
Yeah, because they good for pushing back.
Ashley, would you recommend? Ashley, would you recommend also utilizing anal-ease or lube that helps to sensitize and because I know when I used to teach sex education, we would say the anal lube and the stuff that numbs it helps as well but you got to be careful with it. Because if you use too much of it, it desensitizes too much, and you in there, what? and she can't walk the next day. It's like, oops, my bad. You gotta
walk around with loose booty.
Just whistle when you walk by. Wait a minute. What?
You definitely need to use lube with anal sex. Definitely, if you do whole bottle, how you gonna use? And I was telling people too, CBD is also good for anal sex because it relaxes those muscles. So we
can use your ass butter too for anal sex. Right. Can you use it with condoms as well? Oh my bad. I'm talking about Ashley's product. Can it be used with condoms as well? Is it?
It's oil based, so probably.
Oh, so it's probably gonna break down the latex. Yeah. Unless you use sheepskin or something, right? Or
right.
Okay.
So just to flip that question on the head, what if you are a female and you're trying to convince your male partner into
anal?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a funny question because, as y'all know, y'all black men, black men
got all these insecurities. Go ahead and say it, Ashley.
You don't really, some of you guys aren't really open to things below.
That would be me.
Okay, see, there's always one, and that's fine. So I tell people to communicate, ask first. I don't ever tell a woman to go down to the asshole of a man without asking because you don't want to come up with your, swinging. No, ask.
I always had this theory
about the vice.
Ask.
I always had this theory about anal though, because it is some guys that are into that shit, like anal, getting it in their butt. But my thing is that everybody got an ass, right? And so I feel like that's the reason that I wouldn't go there. If women got certain things that we don't have, and we have certain things that they don't have, but everybody got an ass, and so don't fuck with my ass. Even if you ask me about it, I'm offended because.
But here's the real talk. Men also we have what women don't have, which is a prostate gland, right? And the prostate gland
they say that's our
located
in the ass, but
exactly. It's the A spot, right?
Dog, I never find out. I'll let you tell me about it.
Go ahead and finish. We'll finish it
all day.
You can stimulate the prostate too without
going in.
You can do it externally. So it's below the balls and the anus, that little perineum part. Take your finger and kind of push it up.
The tank.
Look at me.
I'm from Texas too. I'm from Houston, Texas. We don't do that shit.
Right. That's it.
Shoot. Us Dallas niggas is different. She said us Dallas niggas is different. Okay, Betty. I see the low below.
Listen, to each his own. I feel like if that's your fantasy, that's your fetish, lick it up. Do a rim too. Do it. But this is not my cup of tea.
I mean,
right. Now, I technically wasn't talking about men getting anal done to them. I was more talking about if a woman wanted to have anal done to her? How does she convince
her
mate?
I thought you were talking about for me. I was like, what?
Yeah, so did I. So was I.
Rob, I was with you. It messed me all up when they changed it.
I mean, that's fine too, because I mean, I'm sure there's men that's into it. So that's all. I mean, it's all that question is good.
Just ask them.
So I just let them rock us. So just ask them.
I've never had a man. I'm not into anal. That's not my thing. But like, I've never had a man be like, if I say I want to try this, be like, oh, I don't want to try it. They'll at least try it once for the most part.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Like, so communication is a big deal when it comes to sex, for sure.
Of course, yeah.
And sometimes it's an accident too. Like you never know if when
it
happens.
You know because if that girl ain't into that, she be like, oh.
But sometimes you get that one and she takes her tongue a little too far, and you like, wait a minute, do it again. Let me make sure I didn't like that. Wait a minute. Tongue goes right there. You just like, hold up, wait a minute. And then the tongue goes a little farther. You like, wait a minute, do I like that? Wait a minute.
Yes.
Let me get some baby wipes. Let me make sure this is okay down here for you.
I don't even know if I'm offended. I think I am.
Hey, I'll tell you, man. It'll blow your mind, man.
It's definitely an experience.
Yeah, the tongue, man. Oh, the tongue when it hits. Let me shut up, man. But I'm just telling y'all, like, it's the way we're set up. The prostate gland right there,
That's
and
right.
when the tongue is there, it's something different, man.
It's an experience.
They say just like how you saying like that some women aren't with it, some guys aren't with it, whatever. But there's certain people that you get with. Obviously, I haven't always been married, so you experience different things with different people who've been whatever their experiences were. And man, there's been some.
I feel like it with the woman. Yeah, with certain. Yeah, I feel like it messed me up. I'm like, yeah, she turned me out. I was just like, man, I never had an orgasm like that before in my life. Right. Now you got me hooked on that shit. Like I can't come the same way anymore. Yeah, I can't go back to regular Coke. They got cherry Coke out now. I gotta go back. You just blew my mind with your tongue and making me.
Yo, Vanity's face is fucking me up right now.
Like, I'm telling you, when a woman.
I have a question. So do you guys like typically like marry like the best sex of your life or no?
That's high on my list.
I say yeah.
It's definitely high on my list.
But but she said, do you marry the best? Because sometimes a lot of the best sex of your life might come with crazy. So it's kind of I don't know.
Damn, Rob, you preaching right now, man. That's true. That is crazy. True too. There is that kind of crazy. Yeah, what was it? The kind of craziness versus and it's unfortunate, but like, dang, it's like when you get that one, and it's just, I'll tell y'all this. The girl who turned me out like that, she definitely got married, and I was a little jealous of that. I was like, "Damn, you don't know what she about to get that maple syrup and jelly out and turn your life around, bro." Like,
see that nigga high five him there, bro.
Like, man, what? I almost went to his face, feeling like, "I'm gonna like you still." Like, yeah, did a good job, sir. I fucked up on that one. You got to keep her right there.
Yeah. So I think it depends on who it is. I think a big portion of that probably depends on the personality of that particular female.
Yeah, to answer your question, I think that's high.
And the rank and where you are in your life. And where you are in your life. Because if you were like 21 and that was the best, and you didn't know it at the time that was your best sex, probably, you could go back and say, "Oh shit, I should have married that chick at 21," but too late.
Yeah.
But then that could have been a crazy one too. So it's just like,
Yeah. Ashley, you gotta find that balance. You find that balance of the perfect one where it's like sex is great, but then she's smart, funny, knows how to pay taxes. I mean, the typical normal stuff. Then you just like, let me go ahead and
because then you can turn that question on: do the woman marry the guy with the best sex she ever had, or the guy with good credit?
Real talk.
In my experiences, if Nancy can share her experiences, the best sex always come with dudes with no job and no place to stay. Like they always
because they got something to prove. Them niggas ain't got something to prove. I don't know. They trying to find a home.
Housing.
They fucking for a home.
Nothing. So no.
I will work for food. I'm working
That dude's a contractor. That dude's a contractor.
Right.
You know you want to stay with me.
He said, I ain't going back to the streets.
It really is like that though. Like I find that, I mean, what do I find that? I find that, I mean, the one, vanity, what? Yo, let me tell you. So, I mean, I couldn't marry him. Like, we couldn't marry each other. Like, he was in the streets and stuff. But he has money. Like, he has long money. But, like, that was my only reason for not marrying him because he married to the streets.
Yeah, street money ain't long money. Yeah. It's never long money.
I mean, the way my lifestyle was completely different and everything. Like, it wasn't like he was selling diamonds on the corner. You understand? So, it was like, I could have, but it's not worth it. It's just like, it's always the bad boys. Actually, it's always like the bad boy, or it's like you making a huge risk. Like, okay, we gonna do this together. Like, you can't leave me out there. Like, so it's different for dudes. Like, dudes that are established, it's just different. Like, I don't know. I could have been out here, but I would have been fucking Trap Queen Vanity. Yeah.
We would have still had you on the pocket.
We were going to get married a couple times. We would, you know what I mean? So it was just like, I don't know. It's different, Ash, right? It's different. It's so different.
Yeah. I told you I think men have better options than
they do.
Why do you think that men have better options?
I think more women, especially black women, I think more of us are together.
Yeah.
Than black men. And not saying that y'all, some of y'all are not together. Some of y'all, they have like, I think what happens is with the male, y'all in y'all 20s and 19 and all this stuff, y'all have all these kids. Not all black men have a lot of kids, but some of y'all have, y'all spread your seed.
Your seed.
And then you're 35 and 40 and now you're ready to settle down. You hold up with 20 women and got 10 babies and stuff. And then
God damn.
It
sounds like you looking in the wrong spot.
I know, right? Like, the fuck? 36 with no kids. Like, shit.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Men start to settle down when it's just like, okay, like my stamina's kind of lowered a little bit. Like, I want to be at home. I want to be out there, Not saying y'all ain't so handsome. Wait. I have a question. Who's married? Who's single? Who's what's up?
All of us married except for
Will.
Me,
yeah.
Single. But I do live in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta though, so
he got a lot of options.
He got a lot of options.
Well, okay, but guys, quantity does not equal quality. I hate that Atlanta myth, man.
Sometimes you just gotta settle, my nigga.
Atlanta, it is cool quality women in Atlanta. Like
yes.
Women in Atlanta.
Go to Atlanta. I go to Atlanta all the time. I would never date in Atlanta though. Like I would never fuck around in Atlanta.
That's a fun city for you.
I love Atlanta because
I love Atlanta too, but
yeah. But if you go to Atlanta strip clubs, the women are getting it. They coming in with more stacked than men. You're like, oh, these chicks is crazy right here.
I love Atlanta.
So it's a fun city for you.
Huh?
It's a fun city for you.
It's so much fun. Like, it's constant fun. I met so many amazing women. You know that? Like, I connected with a lot of women that were just bomb. I'll be in a club like, sis, you look good. Oh, girl, I got a boutique and like a little 5 stars. Oh, come to me. I'm sitting there sharing crystal stories and we out here like, I'm like, hey, girl, let's go to brunch. The guys, though, like, I've had experience with, like, I'm going to say sugar daddies and stuff like that in Atlanta. Like, I'll go out places, and they're just looking for fun, but people go there to have fun. Like, they leave their wives. They fucking go there to have fun, to have, a good time. But I wouldn't take nobody. Like, I can't mess around in Atlanta. I go for the women, but, like, you know what I mean? I don't really go for the dudes because, like, I feel like it's so many women out here. I can't trust that shit. It's like, it's so many. It's just a lot.
Right.
I don't know.
You're looking in the wrong spots too, Will.
No, it's not that. Everyone just has to understand it really is contingent on your situation, where you are and what you're looking for out there.
Yeah.
Sometimes, it's great if, like for the longest for me, the deal breaker, because I don't have kids at all. So like a woman, nice, talking to her and everything like that, but she got 3 kids. I'm like, shit. That's a lot to take on. Because then if we start getting into a relationship and everything, it's like, well, I gotta take on. I'm not a nigga that's gonna be like, I'm good. I gotta take on your kids too, and I don't know if my funds are like that.
Or you can just be like, yo, I'm really digging you, but I don't fuck with them kids.
Go drink on their juice boxes and everything.
I ain't fucking with them kids. I don't know what you want to
do. Drink all your Kool-Aid jammers. Nah, Atlanta's not.
Them babies drink beer.
Right. But no, I understand and get it, but like, I mean, when y'all come down here, which we're probably gonna take a field trip down there eventually, you guys just come on out here and everything. You'll see even again quality versus quantity. Like you see certain things and it's just some of it is undescribable what you see out here, man. It's a lot.
No, it's lit. It's lit. Like
yeah.
I keep up with a couple people.
Yeah, but then women are like, I mean, on another level out here so much where they're good at a lot of shit, even hiding shit from you. I was in love with this woman at one point in time, and I was being a man, being blinded by shit. This woman had a full family, like a full out family, and I didn't find out until after the fact. And I'm like, we've been out on dates, chilling, kicking it. Found out her husband was traveling and all.
I've been waiting surrounding boy.
And well, you know, and Facebook is the thing that kind of killed the whole vibe. And I was like, yo, wait a minute. We got a mutual friend. Talk to her friend. She was like, oh, you talking about such and such husband? And I'm like, wait. like that's what the white. Oh, yeah. That's her husband. Like,
said, that's sex. He said that sex was jumping. I forgot all about. I didn't ask any questions. Like, are you married?
We worried about everything else about her but her being married was not the thing that came to my damn dumbass man brain. I'm just like, hey, you probably want to see if this woman got like a whole family, and she ended up having a whole damn family. And it was crazy. I was like, I love that woman. That was some of the best sex ever.
Yeah, she loved her husband.
It's terrible.
All right. Do we have any more questions for Ashley? I think those are the only two serious questions I got from the poll. Everything else was like stupid, random stuff.
Ashley,
you got a question? You said.
I have one more question for Ashley. Wait, I have a lot of questions, but here's my question.
Nah, go for it.
Like,
ask all of them.
It's just, since this is like the sex talk, right? And it's like men and, it's me, Ashley, on here as women. Like, so is there like a proper way, like, in y'all's opinion, it's going to sound so weird when we saying this, right? But is there a proper way, like what's the proper way to ride somebody?
Oh, that's a solid question.
That's not a bad question.
I really want to know. Like,
glad you asked.
That makes you sound a little lame, but
I'll answer first. The proper way is the way you want. Like,
right.
There
is no proper way. It depends on the person that you're riding.
Well, no, you can have accidents and break and hurt.
So what are you saying, Ashley? What's your response to that?
I want to hear from her.
I can't really answer that question because I hate riding because my knees are old. I'm 35. I don't have
35.
35 bad
I hate it. I do it, but I don't really like it.
Okay.
But I think that there's no correct way really it really just depends on who you with. Because you can tell if a nigga don't like it or not.
Yeah.
And so it really just depends.
We're talking it's men on here too. Like, I'm not just, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but you can, because you can.
With y'all, so it's easy to talk. I'm like,
it's literally in the moment. It's literally like in the moment, like bounce on this thing. Like, don't bounce on this thing. Grind on it. It's in the moment.
Yeah, it's just however he wanted. Like,
so my preference would be is her back or her ass facing me and her face facing the other way. So just in terms of like from the sensation. Yeah, the sensation.
Okay.
So reverse cowgirl.
Yeah, reverse cowgirl.
That's for him, but that don't work for everybody. So it's like.
So give your answer.
Right. I gave my answer. It depends on who you with.
Varies by the man.
Yeah. Because
it does. But I just wanted to hear from y'all's perspective. I just wanted to hear like. It's different too. Like, I don't know. I think I'm overthinking it, but since we're talking about sex,
I think you are overthinking it. Just do what you do.
You do what you do, and I think they'll be like that. They even say, and they might even be like uncomfortable, but they'll probably push through.
Right, and even that's true.
But they push through. Good sex is about communication. Right. So like in the middle of it, ask that nigga like, you like this? What do you want? You wanted me to do it a different way, or what have you?
You can ask.
But because you can ask, and then the next guy, it's going to be something totally different.
Yeah, but you can ask that same dude
like this, like leg up here,
Right, you can ask him on Monday, and it'll be different on Thursday.
Tuesday. Yeah, yep, that's true.
Oh, you're right. I just want to ask, like, because I just want to ask, but
she just want to ask because she doesn't want to ask.
You so stupid.
So I would think, like, wouldn't it be like where the woman's G spot is located, and if you're just positioned the right way to where you can just hit that G spot repeatedly, that will be. I mean, whatever that may be up on your feet, it may be, reversed, like Dad was saying.
That depends on
grinding the corn, as they say.
Like, that's really no answer to that. Like, it really just depends on who you're dealing with.
Okay, I mean that's fair, and that's cool. That's cool.
Or if you got bad knees, you just don't fuck with it at all.
That's why it's a personal journey, But I just wanted to ask because I'll be like,
So I have a question for Ash and Vanity as well. What's the best way a man can invite a third party into the bedroom? So let's say a male is looking to have a possible threesome that's consensual with all parties. I guess like for me, I would never want it to be forced because those are the ones that end up being the worst. I mean, when you sitting up there and you trying to like make it happen and make, then it's just like it has to kind of naturally flow. But for you all, you can speak from your own, experience or maybe what you've heard from others. But like, what's the best way that a male could easily like propose, say, a threesome, with their partner?
So there's various ways to do that. I'm always against it being like a friend. So it needs to be
right.
That you don't know,
a friend. To me, I think the best way to do it is like goes like a swingers club or party because they're there to have sex anyway. So let's find somebody y'all like.
Right.
Okay.
Right. That would sound like a disaster if you bring a friend.
Right. Yeah.
Like some friends are that
Whose
close.
friend is it? First of all, is it her friend or your friend?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And then my thought about it all the time is like I wouldn't bring that shit up unless the female brought it up. Like if she says, I'm trying to bring a girl into it because that makes it totally different. Because
no, you should ask though. If you want to, you should tell her that.
Nigga, if you smart, you wouldn't say shit.
Yeah, because it's like, what if you're in because that's easier said than done.
Yeah, right, exactly. But if the female brings it up, then it's different. It changes the whole aspect of it. It's like, oh shit.
But what if what's going to drop like little crumbs, like Hansel and Gretel, to try to get her to say it? Like how you going to get her to say it?
Like I find it hard to believe that a married man that doesn't go to like a swingers club say, hey honey, I would like to bring another woman in. Nah, I'm not approaching. I'm not bringing.
I know people who have done that, and it's always been the female that brought it up.
Right.
Like in the three couples that I know, it's always the female that brings it up.
Yeah.
I would suggest it because it's always the people I know, it's always been the female. And I just be thinking, like, if that nigga would have said that.
I always believe that you should be able to be honest with whomever you're with about your desires and fancy. Now, you can let them know. They don't have to fulfill them, but you can be like, I'm interested.
And now I'm mad because you like, nah, nigga. And I'm like, right. Now I got to cheat on you.
Right. Not cheat. Yeah, because like the thing is like once that information is out there, it can't be unsaid. Right. Can't be so the next time y'all walking in Walmart together, you looking at whatever the hell, and she looking at you like, oh, that's what you like? That's what you like? No, that's what you like. It's like, damn, why did I even make hell for myself? Right. I shouldn't even said shit. That's my biggest thing of like, how much do I want to like disrupt a happy or good situation I got going. It's like
that's hard. That's a hard.
Well, I think there's always a certain amount of vulnerability that you have to have in intimacy. So I think that will allow you to have an open space where you can say whatever you need and want from your partner, even if they don't fulfill it. But the fact that you're being honest and open, that does bring the intimacy and the vulnerability to the relationship. So they know at least. So when they say something crazy, like what if they say, I like to bring another dude in the relationship and the thing.
We can go to the sex store and buy that nigga. We'll get a little vibrator, whatever you want, baby. You want that vibrating nigga? I got you, man.
What you say? You need batteries?
Right.
And then she'll say she got the fleshlight thing for you. So it's like, if you ain't ready to take everything that's coming with those shots, then you can't take that shot either.
That's real talk. That is truth right there, right? That's true.
All right. Anybody have any other questions before we take a brief pause?
Pause.
Before we come back with this Cinco de Mayo game.
Yep, I gotta take a break. Another
beer. All right. So any other questions?
No.
All right. We'll take I guess it's like 2 seconds or 2 minutes. I should say
2 minutes.
A minute or so. Even if you need another drink or some more TP, you need to get
litty.
Some more teleport.
Yeah. All right. I need to get this package off the porch. All right.
All right. Break time. Yo, y'all crazy.
I take their temperature. I got to take your temperature every time.
Right. Maybe that's what's going to be the move. But I don't know. They hoping on the heat and humidity will kind of compress some of that. So that's why I think that's why a lot of people are holding out. But they closed like the Essence Fest is done. What else is over? Something else that was like in like the concerts in Delaware. Walt Disney World ain't opening up yet.
They killed South by Southwest, Coachella.
They're not having the Firefly on.
No, they canceled that. Right? Yeah, they canceled that a while ago. Yeah. A lot of festivals are canceled. Yeah, I'm surprised. I want to see if Coachella happens in October. I want to see if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone, ready?
Y'all ready?
Come on back. It's not I didn't get the game music yet, but it's just coming back onto the thing.
All right.
TikTok, you don't stop to the TikTok, you don't stop to the TikTok, you don't stop to the TikTok, you don't stop to the
The remix. The remix. Hey.
I like both versions, but I tend to lean more to the remix. I don't know why.
Hey.
Man, they're like, what the fuck is this?
Know what that is?
Ready the old young ass confused. She's like,
the song older than her? The song is older than her.
Yeah, it might be.
What'd you say?
That's my old head shit.
I'm messing, yo. I'll be vibing with it all. So I ain't messing.
Okay. We got you. It is we're back. We're on episode 69, and we are here.
69.
Who sung that song? I forgot. Who sung that song?
No, he sounded like a pervert.
No, it
is a song.
It is a song. I know it is.
I know.
But I don't remember who it. I feel like LL, but I don't think it was LL.
No, it wasn't him.
Shit, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I forget.
Yo, what's the nastiest song?
What's the throwback? I like Uchi Coochie.
What's the nastiest song y'all can think of?
Uchiwali. I mean, not Uchiwali.
Put it in your mouth.
Akinelli, yeah.
That's the nastiest song. That's one right there.
Mm-hmm.
That go high on the
Yeah,
list.
you know what? That might be like the nastiest song.
Because it was so direct. It was just like, put it in your mouth.
Yeah,
motherfucking mouth.
Put it in your mouth.
But some
She
cut.
know that song. She know that song.
Right,
Some
that
cut.
song older than her too.
Some cut actually goes pretty hard and pretty nasty.
What does?
I mean, because some cut.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I mean, it has.
Yo, what about that one chick from I think she was from Florida. What was it? My neck, my back.
Yeah.
My neck, my back.
She said, "Look, my pussy and my crack."
Oh, but what about
She's talking about eating ass before it was even popular.
Anything from Luke.
Yeah. And then Ying Yang Twins did the Whisper song. Wait till you see my dick. Actually, that's where my nickname came from, Wham, because he was like, "Wait till you see my dick. I'm gonna beat that pussy up like wham, wham, wham."
Keep that story to yourself.
My Neos was like, "Your name is in the song. We about to call you that, and it's stuck forever." Yeah, I could not shake it. I was like, "All right, well, that's cool."
That's it. Wham it is.
Wham.
All right. Before we wrap up, we do have because it is when this drops on Tuesday, it will be Cinco de Mayo. So we do have a little Cinco de Mayo trivia game.
You pick up the guy who won Cinco de Mayo?
Trivia.
Wasn't it like a war or something? 7?
French. Against the French. Hey.
You know what's fucked up? You know what's fucked up? It ain't no Mexican celebrating
at all.
So fuck this Cinco de Mayo shit. Yo, you know what? I'm not even participating in this shit. Nah, think about it. Ain't no Mexicans celebrating no Juneteenth. Here we go. Celebrating fucking Cinco de Mayo.
Hey, yo, is this technically cultural appropriation?
Right it sounds like it. Very much like it.
Oh, we have a Mexican.
I will say that I'm of Mexican heritage.
So I'm not all black.
Okay, there we go.
So that's part of it. But as
How
well,
far down the line is that?
Great grandparent is 100%.
Oh, okay.
Yo, and the crazy part is that nigga don't celebrate Juneteenth either. He's psyched over the Cinco de Mayo.
Well, invite me sometime. You only know me over 10 years.
Man, like, I ain't gotta invite you nowhere for you to celebrate Juneteenth, man.
Invite me sometime. I only know you 10 years. There you go.
All right, Juneteenth is for everyone. Ain't no invitation for Juneteenth. The celebration for the community.
Planners, y'all invite me to Beer Fest.
No, we just started the planning.
We just started this year.
We just started planning this year.
Corona shut us down.
Right. That was on this year.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy to hear y'all talk about Juneteenth. Like, I didn't realize everybody got on with Juneteenth like that. Like, it was, for me, it was big in Texas because that's really all, came in, in 1860, 67, 65, whenever they came in and they were like, and they were like, hey, y'all free. That was in Texas. So I had no idea that it made it all over the country like that. And that kind of makes me proud, and I'm happy y'all are actually aware of that, and y'all actually, celebrating everything, man. Shout out to y'all brothers for doing that. For real.
I think it's 1857. 1857, I think.
Yeah. But we was working on the festival here to come up this summer, but the Corona shut everything down. So.
But listen, it's all about adaptability right now, so we can just transfer the shit to virtual. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. But we had like I don't know what to talk about. Don't say it.
I know. I can only feel your pain because it's just like it changed so much. I feel it.
Yeah, we had some things lined up.
We had some things lined
up. But hey, 2021, bigger and better.
I'm so excited. Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad you're still excited.
I am.
Hey, you better still be on board when we get ready for next year.
She got no choice now. Now we got on record.
Anything for the culture that's positive, that's uplifting, that's educating people. I'm with the shit.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what's up.
All right, Davis.
So without further
on
ado,
you, brother.
I'm gonna share my screen so that we can just kind of go over a few.
Nigga sharing screens. We ain't at work, nigga.
Hold on.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I want to show us. We're gonna learn on PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Cheers. Can you share your screen?
Yep.
You can share your screen. There you go. Yep. Okay.
Oh, this is
this nigga did a PowerPoint. Oh, my stars.
Yeah, you ain't seen it.
I saw it.
Can I ask that? Like, what is everybody's horoscope? Like, what's their...
I'm Pisces.
Aquarius.
I'm a Pisces.
I'm a Sagittarius all day, baby.
I'm like the coolest nigga in the room. I'm a Cancer.
That's not cool. Anybody say I'm like the coolest nigga in the room is not
cool. That's sensitive. Yeah, I was born on Halloween, so I'm a Scorpio.
I'm a Scorpio too.
Oh, Vanity. Next time you're in Atlanta. Boom.
No. She said, I don't fuck with Atlanta niggas.
Next time, Ashley, when you in Atlanta, then shit.
Okay.
Somebody hit me up.
Everybody gotta make y'all ass up. Somebody coming to Atlanta.
Will sound like a nigga with no friends.
Somebody coming to the goddamn Atlanta. I mean, damn.
I'll be in Atlanta on Tuesday, actually.
Oh shit. I'm sliding your DMs. I'm hit you up.
Social distancing. No.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to flying ASAP.
I think they still practice social distancing. That's just open, right? Is that right, Will?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But all the stores, like everywhere, 6 feet apart. Your party, you got to be away from folks. Even in certain restaurants, you can only go one, or grocery stores, you can only go one way down a certain aisle at a certain time. They're only letting like 50 people in a place at a time. They're really pushing that hard.
We got a lot of lines here, like at the Walmart. I'm at the Home Depot. It's crazy line. I was like, sheesh.
It go fast though, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, I order online and just pick it up. All right, Dev.
Well, as you know, look, we're paying homage to Cinco de Mayo, but we also are realizing the times that we're in. So this game is called Quarantino de Mayo. We're gonna add a little swang, a little, brought to you by Bruce and Banter. So Just to go over a few quick bruising banner rules. This is going to be a single round elimination, so 5 rounds. First up, we'll have Ashley versus Lou Belgium. The winner of that round will then battle 302 Yoda. As you can see, the list goes on and on.
Is this random?
Well, here's what I don't realize, that your ass ain't on this one
at all.
So you ain't got to take a shot.
I can't give the questions and also I can't run the game. And
nigga, that means you got to take a shot in the chug.
Yeah, I mean, you got
maybe, I've done it on Instagram already, so I'm not afraid.
Yeah, you got to do both.
Both, nigga.
All right, let's go.
You got to take 6 shots in the chug.
So multiple choice. Answer correctly, you advance to the next round. Loser, you chug or take a shot of liquor. Any questions before we get started?
Well, how did me and Ashley get at the bottom? What's this, random?
Ashley and Lou, you first. How you talking about you at the bottom?
They mean because they started first.
We got the most shots.
Yeah, they got the most.
Well, it don't matter. Like, hey, you made the best man work. You only every person only end up taking one shot, though.
Yeah.
That's how it always, single round elimination, you only gonna end up taking one shot. If Ashley or Lou,
what I'm saying is, if I go all the way to the top, I play 5 times, and Rob only plays once.
However, the object of the game is to not take zero shots.
Right.
It does say hosted by Rob G, so that only right.
So you're only going to take one shot overall, or you're only going to end up taking one shot.
Man, just do the damn thing. What's the damn?
We got you. Go ahead for it.
Let's do it.
All right. Question 1. Ashley versus Lou. Whoever answers first advances to the next round.
Man, I don't know.
What decade did Cinco de Mayo become a drinking holiday in the U.S.?
Drinking
90s.
90s? That's what I was saying.
The 90s, 80s, 70s, or 60s?
The 90s.
Wrong.
I'll say 80s.
You going 80s? Let me go to my little answer key.
Oh, you don't have the answers ready, man?
Stop hating, Josh.
The game show.
Actually, you're correct. Lou, you take that good old shot. Of that.
Good.
Bam.
Lou said I couldn't wait to take this shot.
Ashley, you advanced to round 2.
Okay, I'm ready to lose.
All right.
No, you ain't.
So, Ashley, now you're against 302 Yoda. What activities mark Cinco de Mayo celebration in Mexico? A, military parades and battle reenactments, piñatas and fireworks, tequila drinking in competitions, and taco buffets.
All of the above.
I'm gonna go with A.
A.
E.
She answered first. Ashley answered first. So she advances. You take the shot. She did answer first. She said A first.
I said A first, and then she said I'm gonna go with A.
Yeah, yo, did that? I think you did say first.
About, yo?
I heard A first. Am I wrong or am I wrong or right?
You're wrong.
Yeah,
yo did say answer first.
He did say A. Yeah, he said A first.
He said A first.
Okay, so then
that's fine. Come on, it's cool.
Ashley, you take the shot.
Cool.
There go her shot. See? Oh, chug it.
No. Don't stop. Don't stop.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So now Yoda, you continue on. V Constance, you're going against her now. How many pounds of avocados do Americans consume on Cinco de Mayo? A, 80,000 pounds. B, 800,000 pounds. C, 81 million pounds. Or D, 8 billion.
It's B or C.
Pick one.
B or C.
You can't pick both. Pick one.
It's gone.
She gonna say
Yoda.
Wait, can I Google it real quick?
Nope.
No Googling it aloud.
Pick one. I'm waiting for her to pick one. Nope, I'm gonna just let her pick.
If you was going Google, you should have just did it and didn't say it.
You know what? I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go with. I go with. Forget it. I'll go with D.
You don't know.
8 billion? 8 billion?
Billion?
Pounds of avocados do Americans consume on Cinco de Mayo?
8 billion pounds of avocados?
Billion pounds?
Yep.
She went with C. She's correct. Take that chug or either.
81 million is a lot too.
It is a lot, right?
But 8
you
billion
talking
is
about 1 day?
ridiculous.
You said C.
I figured that was the quickest way to get out this game.
That's a
Yoda.
Yoda.
Chuck. That's an easy Chuck. That's delicious. Would you drink?
He's slowing down. He laughing.
Yo, because I want Lou to shut the fuck up.
That's just delicious. You know what it is.
But it is 6 point. It is 6.2 though. It's still Chuck.
You can't do it.
Yeah, that's a tough one to chug though too, because it's so.
And you waste. I feel like you wasted it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have chugged that. You should have chugged a Corona.
Yo.
A coronavirus.
All right. So B Constance, you moving on around.
He was nice.
You ready?
Let's go, Vanity.
Will.
All right.
Let's go, Will.
Our holiday in Cinco de Mayo is most frequently confused with
Mexican Independence Day D. Mexican Independence Day D. Boom.
Woo! He smoked you, B.
Look at her. She's still lost. She's like,
that TV.
Go ahead, Chuck.
She said, "Tell the court to get me right."
What day? You know what day Mexican Independence Day is?
It's like in June sometime. It's sometime in the summer. I
think it's like September.
Is it September? Oh,
it's like September 2nd.
Oh, but I knew it was the confusion all the time of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. And fun fact, I do celebrate. I celebrate B actually, because this is right around my birthday. Dia de los Muertos. Yeah, Dia de los Muertos.
We celebrate.
That's November 1st.
No,
right?
It's like around Halloween.
It's like around. It's around between like the 30th and the 2nd of November is when it's celebrated.
Okay. But we celebrate. We put on the Fuente. We put the pictures on there.
The ofrendas. Yeah. They're doing the sugar skulls. The sugar skulls.
Robin, why'd y'all start doing that?
After we watched Coco, our kid got
I did it back home in Texas. Actually, Texas, we did Juneteenth, Dia de los Muertos, and that was pretty much like the main holidays because it was heavily influenced by Mexico is right there next.
Mexico is right there.
We did that a lot with the Dia de los Muertos. I remember high school doing Dia.
But after Coco, the kids was really into it, so we make the ofrenda and we put our grandfather picture on there.
Mm-hmm. That keeps their spirit alive. It keeps them actually alive.
How many years you been doing it?
For the last
since Coco came out?
Last 3 years.
Nice.
So.
That's dope. Good new tradition.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard for me to watch Coco, man. It's really hard for me to watch that movie.
Why?
Without like tearing up. That's a great movie. Coco is a really good movie.
So Will, this is how I felt after I took my kids to see that movie.
This nigga crying over Coco.
Actually, you know what?
I feel you, Will, because I get a little teary eye.
I'll say this.
It's okay.
I wasn't sure I was ready for Coco to explain to my kids about death because I hadn't took them to a funeral yet. And then I took them to that. I'm like, this is a little deep, a little dark for a kid.
I think I think the kids had already been to a funeral, so they knew about Coco, so they understood it a little bit. But it was well done by Pixar and Disney, so I salute them for that. The soundtrack, the visuals, the historical nature of it. I meant the correctness of it, I guess, because of the writers and the people who created it made it really authentic as possible.
Really authentic. So,
yep,
I agree.
I enjoyed it.
I never watched it.
Yeah.
Will, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. Because you smoked her in that round.
Let's go, Rob. Represent Rob.
He got an unfair advantage.
Here we go.
He said that. He said he got a lot of Mexico in Texas, so he got an unfair advantage. Wait a minute, but didn't the Vanity say she was from Houston?
Yeah. So she should know that. She should know.
She wasn't fast enough, though.
It's like a full fuck with Mexico and Houston, though.
Let me explain something. I was waiting for him to get done talking because I didn't want to interrupt. So I was being polite because I'm on a podcast.
Right.
Because it's a fucking game.
Right.
So,
and whoever answers first. The rules are whoever answers first.
Okay, my bad. She is ready. She's fired up. She's like, how the fuck y'all playing me like that?
I feel my earlobes feel violated right now. My apologies.
I'm about to hit this slide, and once I hit it, all the question and the multiple choice are going to be revealed. Okay.
All right. There you go.
Go.
Okay, so what
is the significance of Mexican militia's victory over the French in the Battle of March for Cinco de Mayo?
Hey.
Wrong.
Will said it first if it's right.
Wrong.
C.
Wrong.
C.
Wrong.
It's D.
It's D.
Hey, B.
All the alphabet, the whole alphabet.
If it was B, I got that first.
I said B.
This went through the whole list.
He kept on saying wrong, so I kept on picking another letter.
Yo, so does anybody know it was a victory? So did Mexico lose?
No, Mexico won.
They won.
So when the moral victory, then they won.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It was a
It can't be
victory
a moral victory.
It was a victory as them being the underdog. So yeah, it was a victory for them being the underdog.
Right.
So was this like the battle that changed everything today, or the Tuesday today?
So the actual full statement is the Mexican army victory over the French during the Battle of Puebla, which Puebla is a very important battle for
International Dev.
Right, but they didn't get their independence until September. That shit was
a long time.
Right, that shit wasn't.
They was fighting.
They outnumbered the Mexicans, so that's them being the underdog.
They outnumbered the Mexicans in Mexico.
They outnumbered them. Yeah,
that is crazy. I mean, I didn't know that.
The Mexican soldiers.
Mexican soldiers.
Mexican soldiers. Okay.
You got to think artillery here.
Gotcha. I'm like, damn, that is.
All right, so who won that? Because y'all both was like A, B, B, C.
That was me.
What's the tiebreaker? What's the tiebreaker?
I feel like they both.
We can do a tiebreaker. Do you want
Yeah,
to
do a tiebreaker, Dad, because they both were just randomly guessing the alphabet. They just did all the numbers and letters in the alphabet. All the numbers in the alphabet. That tequila kicking in.
All right, we're gonna do a tiebreaker. Hold on.
Hey, BB.
Glad I got some other ones in here. I'm gonna just pop this one in here real quick.
All right.
Hey Devin, before you do it, why don't you read the question and then pop it up?
Showing it.
Yeah, read the question and then pop the multiple choice as you read the multiple choice.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right.
Oh, he
so
could.
you guys can't see my screen right now, right?
No.
We can see it, but we can't. It's too small.
We can't see the question you're about to ask, though.
Yeah, it's real tiny.
All right. I'm gonna go with.
Will zoomed in on it. He cheating.
Well, he's out.
Hey, now he did.
Will said it's real tiny.
I can't see.
Hold
on. They both must wear glasses. All right. So the question is, what activities mark Cinco de Mayo celebration in Mexico? A, the military parades and battle reenactment. Did I do that one already?
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
Hey.
We did that one already. We did that.
I did that. Hold up. I got
You're stupid.
I won. Okay, dead air on the podcast.
They wasn't ready for a tiebreaker.
All right, here we go. Okay. Let me go here. Make sure I got the. That don't match.
Come on, International Dev.
I'm thinking of a number from 1
Dev,
to
Dev got Mexican in him. I don't know why he just don't have one off the top of his head.
He didn't know about Cinco de Mayo. This is Independence Day.
Right.
No, it's not an Independence Day. That's confused.
That's true.
Okay, here we go. I'll do the question. What do most people put on their tacos?
You ready?
Lettuce.
Avocados.
All right, here we go. Here's the question, okay?
81 million.
The question is, how many men made up the Mexican militia that defeated the French in their war? A, 500, B, 1,500, C, 2,000, or D, 6,000?
A, 500.
D.
Wrong.
D 6,000. B C C
It's B.
C.
It's B. It's B.
It's
Ah,
C.
shit.
There we go.
Tito's down the hatch.
I think hit different.
Ooh, you needed a chaser. You need a chaser. Lord.
Kill that thing. Kill that thing.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
See, if you would have had some of that anal butter on your tongue, you would.
It's edible butter. It's not anal butter.
Anal butter.
Yeah, you just put it in the ass, but it's actually
Edible.
Chucking anal butter on the podcast.
in the anus.
So Rob, you the winner, bro.
Thank you. What I win?
Nothing. You just won not drinking a shot. You didn't take a shot. You didn't have to take a shot or chug a beer.
Cool.
Oh, that you just win not being drunk in the afternoon.
All right.
I'm kind of lit though.
I know the sun is out right now, and I feel
I'm
very,
be outside,
very
so
Yeah, right, Will.
Jesus.
Vanity, I feel the same way. Like, sheesh.
You can go outside. You can go outside, take a walk.
You can go outside,
take a walk. Take a walk. Put your mask on. Take a walk.
We know you're outside every day.
Yeah, I'm outside every day. Like,
we out there. You out there. I'll get you.
You in these streets.
Yeah, I'm outside and I can't wait. I'm about to go just look at the trees, admire nature, just speak to myself. You know what I mean? Like,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Don't get yourself too much.
Everybody smile for my Instagram photo.
I like it, Vanity.
So y'all don't have to say I didn't let y'all pose. Look. You know, women big on that. I need to pose.
Look at Vanity.
Look at Vanity.
She like, shit, I got no shoulder. What the?
Pull the shoulder back out, Vanity. Fuck it.
You need time to change your shirt? You want to change your shirt again?
I'm gonna take it. Hold on, I'm gonna take it one more time.
okay.
There it is.
The peace sign.
Got it.
All right.
Devin, send that to me, Devin.
All right, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me. Yeah. Like, tag me in it.
Lou, you was talking. I thought you were supposed to be posing. You like this.
Yeah, all right. Before we wrap up, I always go around the horn and just find out where we can find everyone on social media. So as we wrap up, I want to thank our guests for attending episode 69.
Yes,
we
thank you so very
coming.
much. Appreciate you guys.
No problem. Nice meeting you guys.
Yes.
It was very informative.
And make sure that y'all we all gotta subscribe to Ashley's page.
Yeah.
Ashley, I already started following you, girl. I can't wait.
I follow you and Lou and Udo.
Girl, I'm so glad to meet you. I really am.
Yeah. Even though I didn't ask about how these virtual blowjob sessions go down, I'll
you did?
Somebody else.
I did. You didn't? How did? Well, we're still on. How
Yeah,
does
we
that
still
work?
got some time. We still do have a little bit of time.
So it's one of two ways. So women can, like, I had a puppet class Friday.
You
So
said a
it's
puppet class?
A puppet?
Public.
It's on Zoom. So, like, I do a puppet class, once a month.
Okay.
Or do a private class with you and your friends.
Oh,
Or I do couples one-on-one sessions where, like, it's on Zoom and I'm telling the woman exactly what to do, how to touch, how to suck, how to lick, all that stuff. We go through different types of different things.
That's sexy, girl. That's sexy.
It's like that grapefruit on Girls Trips.
Yeah, is that a real thing, the grapefruit thing?
It's messy though. I don't like it.
Yeah, it looks messy.
Yeah, it seems like a waste of grapefruit. No,
Hey, Ashley, I know you teach the blowjob class. I didn't see. Do you have any cunnilingus classes?
So someone asked me that earlier last week. So I'm going to do a couples oral blowjob cunnilingus class at the end of the month.
Okay, there you go. Lou said, "Let me know when."
I don't need no help. I don't need no help. Send me an update.
A post update. You always learn something.
Exactly.
You can always
learn. Actually, that's why I brought it up. Exactly.
Right. You could always, but you said you don't need no help, but you can always learn something.
I'm good.
I didn't know they drink TP and Wilmington until today. So you always can learn.
You learned everything.
That's true.
Every day.
That's true.
TP,
send me the cunnilingus class, Ashley.
Right.
Okay.
And you might be thinking you're killing it, but she could just be stroking your ego, like, yeah, you doing this, son. You doing it real nice. But
that's true. I doubt it, but that's true.
Hey, Vanity. What's your Instagram tag? What's your handle?
Well, she was going to go over that.
We about to go over it.
Hold on, Dev. Hold on one second.
Calm down. Calm your life.
So, as we wrap
Jumping the
up,
gun.
we'll go through and tell folks how you can meet you on social medias, Instagram, Facebook. So we can start with Vanity.
All right. So my name is Vanity Constance. My email address is info@vanitycreates.com. My Instagram is The Vanity Constance. My Facebook like page is The Vanity Constance. But if you want to add me as a friend on Facebook, why not? Vanity Constance.
Why not?
I'm The Vanity Constance. My Snapchat is Vanity Constance. So add me. Let's connect. Let's engage. Let's get to work if you want to work on some business shit. So what's up?
I should be on that TikTok. I'm a savage. Oh.
Look at it. Thank you for coming on, Vanity.
Absolutely. Ashley, where can they find you at?
So my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, website is all Sex with Ashley.
I love it.
Thank you for coming on, Ashley.
Gonna walk up and be like, "What you doing? Sex with Ashley? Why?"
Girl, sex with Ashley. I love that. That's sexy, girl. I love it.
Thank you.
And where can they find you?
I am Sex with Will.
Sex and beer with Will.
Sex and beer with Will. I may look. I need to talk to y'all about this. That may be a very good. That may be a very good. Like y'all got the creative.
It's the two things that you're professional at, brother.
Hey, there you go. You know what? Hey, when God gives you a gift, you gotta use it or take it away, right? Real talk.
You can't tell. You can't give other people suggestions on their Instagram stuff and not come through with your new joint.
Hey, real talk. But no, I am at, so my personal is at Instagram7. I have never changed that because I got on Instagram real early and I love the fact that Instagram was open and available. So at Instagram7 is my my personal account.
Brand handle.
Brand, thank you. But now on the beer side, Down Home Brewing across all social medias, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Again, that's at Down Home Brewing. That is the beer and the company side of everything.
Will, are you active on the beer IG?
I'm not. We have another person involved with that. Okay. So if you want to reach me directly, at Instagram7, and that's INSTAWAM and the number 7. That's me directly on. We have another person handling our social media for the Down Home. Yeah.
Thank you.
Great question, though. Good question. And I want to thank y'all, brothers. This has been one of the most fun quarantine Sundays I've had in a long time. I am faded right now. I'm about to order some tacos.
Y'all wait till Tuesday, man.
Having tacos today and Tuesday.
I haven't been faded in the house on a Sunday in a long time. I appreciate this. This was a lot of fun. Like, this is a great time. Y'all are awesome, man. This is great, fellas. And ladies.
Anytime anybody ever want to come back on, just hit us up and let us know. We can definitely come through.
Sure.
Dev, how can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at DevinAaron_the_great.
For all your beer needs, Lou Belgium. For all your t-shirt needs and the margin tees, I'm on them Instagrams.
Why is that like Lou yelling?
This how you love yelling.
It's that tequila. That tequila got me screaming.
He's like, here's what it is.
Yo.
You can find me.
Yo, where they can find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at 302 Yoda and on Instagram at Delaware on Grind and Facebook at Delaware on Grind.
And you can find Bruising Banter Podcast at Bruising Banter Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Make sure you check us out and listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts, including Pandora, iHeartRadio, anywhere, like I said. Until next time, this has been episode 69.
Have a good week, everyone. Have lots of sex.
Guys, it was a pleasure.
Yeah. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Love y'all. Hey. Really rocking?
Yo, tell her to stop, please.
Hit it. Yo, B, hit it. Hit it, B. Hit it, B. Hit it, B.
This is comedy. That is hilarious. That is absolutely funny. That is funny.
That's the only old school dance I know.
Yo, I'm not inviting her to anything else. This is it.
You come to anything. You invited to Juneteenth already. All three of y'all come to anything Music Matter put on.
She already invited to Juneteenth, so she already there. She gonna be like,
nope, Vanity's not invited.
No, she got any shoulder move you need. What kind of shoulder move you want? Vanity got it.
Shoulder move.
I'll need to stop this.
That was a good.